It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. We deliver to your home. FordofHagerstown.com. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. The Mirius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Joe Ferretti Law Office in downtown Martinsburg, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Green Tree Realty, a great place to call home. Jackie Lewis Broker. GreenTreeRealty.com. Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. FolkForWV.com. And by Smallwood and Small, an Erie affiliate. Total Insurance Solutions. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Danny Hale Field at Redmond Stadium. We are in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, where today it is a PSAC East matchup as the Bloomsburg Huskies play host to your Shepherd University Rams. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, running our main camera, John Alderton, running our sideline camera, and our on-site production, Eric Sterick. Our engineer at the studio is Caleb Falero. We welcome you in to TV10 coverage of Shepherd Ram football. And Matt, looking forward to this one as the Rams play their final road game of the regular season before heading home next week for a home matchup against Seton Hill. Today's game, Shepherd comes in riding a 5-game winning streak. They're 7-2, 5-1, good for second in the PSAC East.
Facing off against the Bloomsburg Huskies, they come in at 4-5, trying to salvage a 500 season that has been pretty consistent up here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, going back several years, even close to a decade, or a couple decades we were looking at earlier in the week. But it should be a good matchup here today. Shepherd moving up in those regional rankings, now in the playoffs at number 5, where they probably should have been a couple weeks ago, but I digress. That's neither here nor there. But Shepherd coming off of a record-setting offensive day last week in the game against East Stroudsburg, 76 points in that victory. And they did it in just about every facet you could possibly do it. 5 touchdowns throwing for Tyson Bajent. It was a 200-plus yard day for Deontay Glover, another 100 for Ty Hebron, 80 for Ronnie Brown. So Shepherd did it in just about any way possible. So offensively, I expect them to be firing on all cylinders in those all-white uniforms today. And defensively, didn't play bad. It was just one of those kind of games. You don't want to give up 34 points, but one of those was a special teams touchdown. So I expect the defense to be sharp today and expect Shepherd to make it 6 straight here in about 3 hours.
Well, you can't get much better offensively. 755 total yards last week, an average of 10.6 yards per play. And it's odd when your passing numbers actually bring down that total, right? Usually it's the passing yards that bring it up, but Shepherd ran for 460 yards on 39 carries, or an average of 11.8 yards a carry. Not sure you can come into this game today and expect to do the same thing, but they are going to need to be able to get that ground game going again.
And this is a Shepherd ground game that has really picked up after the first couple weeks of the season was very slow. It was a win on a Thursday night game at Lock Haven that really turned the tables on this Shepherd ground game. And now, last week, being a bit of an outlier and helping that cause, but Shepherd running for just about 171 yards a game so far on the season, and that's right where they need to be. Deontay Glover just 154 yards away from 1,000 on the season. Wouldn't surprise me if he got to that 1,000-yard mark today.
Certainly an opportunity. Now, this is a solid Bloomsburg defense when you look at what they do on that side of the ball, giving up just 26 points a game and giving up only about 359 total yards a game. They've been stiff against the run, allowing only about 130, but it hasn't always translated into victories. In fact, this team suffered a loss in their opener, came back with a win on the road at Edinboro, then losses to Mercyhurst, at Shippensburg, against Kutztown, and then Westchester, a loss against East Strouds. They lost those 4 straight. Then came the win against East Stroudsburg, and that win began to turn things around, a victory over Lock Haven, and last weekend a victory at Millersville. So this team coming in at 4-5, 3-3 in league play, but winners of 3 in a row. row.
Yeah, they're playing good. Defensively, they're a sound football team. You look at giving up, you mentioned, just at that 130-yard mark. Passing in the secondary, only giving up about 228 yards a game. This is a air raid offense for the Shepherd University Rams. Really a well-rounded offense, but they do like to put it in the air. Tyson Bagent, once again, going to be a finalist for that Harlan Hill. Is just a sophomore playing really well for the most part this season. It seems like every game he has that one throw that make you scratch your head and go, okay, remember, he's still just a sophomore. He's going to make those decisions, but overall, playing another whale of a season, and the secondary is going to have a tough test today for Bloomsburg.
It is a sunny afternoon, but, Matt, it is a bit breezy and certainly a chilly day for college football.
Oh, it's college football weather. I don't know what you're talking about. Sun's out. It is a November day. The wind's blowing a little bit. We're in the mid-30s right now, only going to get up to the upper 30s, about 38, 39. It's going to be nice and cool by the end of this game. The sun may have already set by the time we finish up our broadcast here. I am looking forward to it, but easy to say as we're in a somewhat heated press box right now.
There you go. That's our matchup from here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It's the Huskies taking on your Shepherd University Rams. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back on our pregame show, a chance to go in the locker room and hear from head coach Ernie McCook. The pregame brought to you by Brown's Funeral Homes in Martinsburg, Inwood, Charlestown, Ranson. Robert Fields and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home, proudly serving the area since 1880. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow, dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag Extra Power Button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rocks Local Market.
And we welcome you back into the Brown Funeral Home pregame show. It's time to go inside the locker room with Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook. This segment brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're on Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or see their full list of inventory at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. Coach, let's first start talking about a phenomenal game for you guys last week, especially offensively. 76 points. What did you see in the victory?
I just saw a lot of players make great execution and plays. I thought the offense was in great sync together. I thought they were, some guys just made some unbelievable plays, and the ball bounced our way, and it was just a good day for the Shepherd Rams.
If I'd have told you that Deontay Glover is going to have 11 carries, would you have ever dreamed that it would have been for 220 yards, and the majority of those coming in that first half?
I think that I know Glover is an explosive player, and I felt that he has that ability to have big rushing days. We're counting on that. And it's kind of been building up over the last few weeks. Deontay's done a phenomenal job in running the football, being in sync with the offensive line, and getting positive yardage. So does it surprise me? No. Was it welcome? Yes, absolutely. Love to see that kid have success for all that he does for our team.
When you look at the last 2 weeks against Millersville and then East Stroudsburg last week, each one of those teams threw a trick play at you, if not the first play, very early in that first drive. Is that something you can plan for, or is that something you just have to defensively be ready for if it's going to happen?
Our defensive guys have it prepared. Our players saw that play in practice. They did a nice job executing it, and I think everybody was amped up for the first play to make a play, get a stop. Kudos to East Stroudsburg for executing that. But I think our guys will, they prepare, and it was just I think a trick play, a fluke play. You're not going to beat our defense hanging your hat on trick plays. Our guys are too disciplined, they're too athletic, they're too well coached, and I think it's going to be, so that didn't bother us at all.
I know you and I have talked in the past, and you don't necessarily pay attention to regional rankings this early in the year, but going from one spot out to now on the verge of being in one of those top 4 and hosting a playoff game if the season were to end today, that's got to be a nice jump and a good momentum boost for your team going into the last couple games of the season.
It has been a shot in the arm for our players to see that recognition and see themselves climb in the polls. But I think our guys are also very focused on this next football game, which is Bloomsburg University, and I think that's what they're thinking about. I don't hear a whole lot of chatter in the locker room about the polls or the rankings. All our focus is on finding a way to win this weekend.
What do you see in Bloomsburg coming in on Saturday?
They're a bend but don't break defense. Offensively, they're going to try and control the football. They're going to take calculated shots, be able to run it. They're going to try and limit our possessions. They're going to try and get first downs. So I think it's going to be a much different game than we saw this past weekend. I think we're going to have to take advantage of the opportunities that we do have offensively, and understand that we cannot have self-inflicted wounds. We cannot have penalties that we can control, and we can't have turnovers. And also the defense is going to have to keep them from making big plays. It's going to be important that we don't let them get out in front of us and we get into a chase mode. It's going to be important for us to have a fast start and finish the game.
Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook, part of our In the Locker Room segment, brought to you by Parsons Ford. Again, they're located on Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or see a full list of inventory at parsonsfordofmartinsburg.com. Back with more of the Brown Funeral Home pregame show next. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
We welcome you back into the Brown Funeral Homes pregame show. Time now to go between the hash marks as we talk with Shepherd running back, special teams player. He does it all, really. It's Deontay Glover. Deontay, first talk to us about last week and what it feels like to have a day where you can rush for 220 yards and 3 scores.
It feels amazing. Our offense was firing on all cylinders. Our O-line did an amazing job. We just got to give props to the O-line. I need to do that. Give props to the O-line. And we just had a very aggressive day on offense, and we just didn't let up. It was really good.
All right, take us back to your very first run from scrimmage. They score on a trick play and take a lead 11 seconds into the football game. You know the play coming out of the huddle. How did it unfold in front of you?
So when they scored the first play of the game, everybody's heads went down, and myself, like, I just had to get the offense up. After that, I was telling everybody, it's all right, we'll have to punch back, it's okay. And that's what we did. The opening drive, like I said, the offensive line did an amazing job opening up holes, and I just exploded through it, and I was just grateful to get that touchdown.
All right, a lot of people may look at you and your size and say you are a great guy running between the tackles, but you have shown us many times this year the breakaway speed. Have you always had that?
Humble, yes. I've always had this speed. Actually, a lot of guys on the team they never seen it because we don't really run like that in practice and stuff. But yeah, the speed was always there.
You get a chance to get out there as well on special teams, and you've done a great job catching the football, whether out of the backfield or even lining up in a slot formation. Give us an idea of what it's been like for you to have so many responsibilities this year.
Well, I've been doing this since in high school. Like, I'm an all-purpose, all-utility type of guy, and that's what I really harp on. I like being an all-purpose kind of guy, so it's just an amazing feeling.
You guys face Bloomsburg on the road this week, next to last game of the regular season. What do you see in the Huskies?
They're a good team defensively, offensively. Their coaches do a good job. It's going to be a battle, but we're gonna bring it to them, and we'll see what happens.
You're one of those guys on this leadership council. Just 2 games left. You're where you want to be, number 5 in those regional rankings. You still have those goals out in front of you. How do you lead this team and make sure that you stay focused and get the job done these next 2 weeks?
We just focus on the next opponent. We got to stay 1-0 for every week here on out. It's playoff season, so we just got to win every single week. It's 1-0. That's the goal.
Deontay, thank you for your time. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Deontay Glover joining us from Inside the Hash Marks, our player segment in the Brown Funeral Homes pregame show. We've got more Shepherd Rams football coming your way on TV 10.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Thank you.
Well, we welcome you back as they had a moment of silence remembering someone close to the Bloomsburg family. And now as we get ready for the playing of the national anthem, we'll go ahead and listen, and then we'll jump into our keys to the game as we welcome you back into our Brown Funeral Home pregame show. Well, we'll start with the alma mater, which a lot of the schools do. As you get ready for the anthem, the band will tend to play the school song first, and then we'll play the national anthem after, and so that's what is going on as we await the national anthem, getting ready for this matchup with 4-5 Bloomsburg, 3-3 in the league, taking on the 7-2 Shepherd Rams, who come in at 5-1, and the Rams right now 5th in the latest region rankings, meaning the Rams are right in the middle of the playoff hunt. They need a win today to keep that going.
They need to win at all costs possible. A loss, I think, definitely bumps you out at this point in the season. So, regional rankings, no regional rankings. The Rams need to win. 2 losses is the most you're going to be able to have going into the playoffs this year. We'll get into those regional rankings a little bit more as this game goes on.
And there it is. Keys right now, take care of business, and business is winning games that you have control over. Here's our national anthem. There it is, the Bloomsburg Husky Marching Band with our national anthem as we inch our way ever closer to today's opening kick, and that means it's time for us to get into the keys to the game, brought to you by Green Tree Realty in Shepherdstown. Let Jackie Lewis hand you the keys to your next home. Her office is at 138 East German Street, or you can find her online at greentreerealty.com. Matt, the Rams coming off of a very impressive offensive performance last week. What are the keys for them to keep it going here today?
I think not focus on last week. I think you enjoyed the 76 points and understand that's not going to come all that often in college football or any level of football, really. So you can't look at last week and go, okay, we're really clicking now. It's just going to happen week after week. This is a Bloomsburg team that's going to be fighting, trying to get back to that 500 mark for the season. So you got to come out, you got to continue to run the ball the way you have been. Again, 170 yards a game on the ground and using 3 running backs doing it in Deontay Glover, Ty Hebron, Ronnie Brown. So for Shepherd, run the football successfully, and it sets up the play-action game. And Tyson Bagent has been solid all year long, except for the one game he didn't start due to injury, but has been solid all year long, and the running game is just going to help that. So run the football consistently and the way you have been the last several weeks.
Meanwhile, on the defensive side, I think pressure on the quarterback is going to be key. The Rams come in as a defense with 24 sacks, and 16 of those have come within the last 4 weeks. Meanwhile, for this Bloomsburg team, well, giving up sacks has been an issue. They've allowed 32 this season.
Yeah, 32 sacks. And looking at the running yards for the quarterback for Bloomsburg, he's got over 300 when you look at overall yards gained, but down into the hundreds when you look at total net due to those sack yardages. And I think that's going to be a key for Shepherd. Put pressure on the quarterback. And it's really been one player each week for Shepherd that's had 2 or 3 sacks or 2 or 3 interceptions, and that pressure helping with the interception. We saw that last week, the quarterback's having to get the ball out early, and it helped Antonio Fox get a couple of big interceptions. So pressure on the quarterback, as you kind of gave that key away going into it.
Well, Antonio Fox leading this team now with 4 interceptions as he doubled his total, picking off 2 last week. So a couple of keys for the Rams. Let's turn our attention to Bloomsburg. What are keys for the Huskies?
They have to run the ball consistently. It's going to be the same for Shepherd. This is a team that running the ball this year is averaging 127 on the ground. Shepherd barely giving up over 100 yards on the ground at 108 yards. So right now Shepherd's run defense, their front 7, has stepped up to the challenge. Don't be surprised if there is a good first drive for Bloomsburg. We've seen that this year, seen a lot of opening drive touchdowns, and Josh Klein and the defensive coaching staff does a very good job of changes on the fly, changes quickly for the first time out, or the first time the defense is off the field. But I expect Shepherd to play sound in the front 7, and again, expect somebody in that secondary to have a very big game. It seems to rotate between Antonio Fox, Ponce de Leon, Mike Blackman, Herbert. Somebody there is going to have a big game, so expect 1 or 2 interceptions from somebody in that secondary.
And expect a trick play early.
You're only saying that because it's happened the last 2 weeks and it's been a halfback pass. You got to think if you're Bloomsburg, you watch that film, Shepherd's going to be ready for it. You can't do it on the first drive. You may be able to throw one in, and I think against a good defense like Shepherd, you're going to have to throw some trickery in there at some point, but don't expect it as early as we've seen it the last 2 weeks.
Let me turn to a defensive key for Bloomsburg. They've got to get off the field. They are giving up third down conversions at a rate of 43%. They cannot do that today. This Rams team last week, 7 of 10 on third down conversions against East Stroudsburg. If they can do that again today and keep the football away from Bloomsburg, Shepherd's got a great chance of winning.
They do, and Bloomsburg has struggled getting to the quarterback. Only 6 sacks on the year, also 6 interceptions. So you look at those numbers, just those are the big numbers defensively. Again, if you put pressure on the quarterback, Tyson Bagent is bound to make 1 or 2 of those young sophomore mistakes. So the key is to try to force those late throws, force the quick throws, and hope you can get a couple turnovers.
There you go. Keys to the game brought to you by Green Tree Realty in Shepherdstown. Let Jackie Lewis hand you the keys to your next home. Give her office a call at 304-876-3737. Stop by at 138 East German Street or go online to greentreerealty.com. Well, as we wrap up the Brown Funeral Homes pregame show, we take a 90-second break, and on the other side, it's a look at today's probable starting lineups as we get you ready for Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Into Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field. We are in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, as the Bloomsburg Huskies get ready to take on your Shepherd University Rams. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Caleb Falero back at the studio. Eric Sterick down on the sideline, and our on-site producer, John Alderton, is our main TV10 cameraman. Starting lineups are brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters, giving Berkeley County residents options. How about a free trash can and service for only $23 a month? Local, family-owned. Learn more at panhandledumpsters.com or give them a call at 1-833-DUMP-STR. Well, they bring with them the big flag, the SU, as the Ram football team, clad in white jersey pants and tops, make their way out onto the field.
I love it. I don't know if I've ever seen them bring the big flag with them. That's something new, as now the Huskies will go onto the field in those gray uniforms, but the Shepherd trying to show some dominance here.
And their mascot leading the way as he carries the flag out for Bloomsburg. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups. We begin with the visiting Shepherd Rams. Eric Ostro is at a left tackle position. Joey Fisher, the right tackle. Keandre Batson and Cole Weaver guards. Evan Ostro is the center. DJ Cornish, a tight end. Devin Phelps, Rodney Dorsey are the wideouts. The fullback, if needed, would likely be Matt Bettarelli. Deontay Glover is the tailback. We'll see Ty Hebron as well, and Tyson Bagent is the starting quarterback. Defensively, the ends will be David Wilson, and along with Juwan Addison, the inside guys on the defensive front line, Ricky Robinson and Scott Dixon. Linebackers include Ponce de Leon, Chris Lane, the leading tackler, and Hassan Marshall. It is DeJuan Anthony as a corner, along with Donnell Howard, and the safeties are Michael Blackman Herbert and Antonio Fox. We turn our attention to Bloomsburg. They are led by Logan Leiby as the quarterback. Joining him in the backfield is Jack Gogler. He is a fullback, while Khalil Nelson is their leading rusher. He is the tailback. Wide receivers include Stephen Arrington and Michael Allen, while the tight end is Kevin Vitti. Tackles are Salvatore Seneglia along with Aaron Bensinger. Guards Josh Tripp and Sean Page Jr. and Seth Jonathan is the center. Defensively for the Huskies, the ends will be Alex Findora and Sir Michael Larson. The tackles are Tom Pellegrino and Chase Heath. The linebackers, James Gines, Aaron Tremino, and Alex Annan. A corner is Chris Monaco. The other side corner, Cameron Young. And the safeties, Logan Yawn and Tariq Blakeney Jr. So that is a look at the lineups. And while we got a quick moment, we got a chance to go to the website, and we encourage you to do it. Look up Bloomsburg Huskies football, and on the website you're going to find a nice story that incorporates an ESPN college football video on Alex Findora. Watch number 88. Tell you, he is a special young man.
Yeah, a former former military veteran with the Marine Corps, was part of the member of the Marines that are at Arlington and are part of any burial at Arlington. And I believe it was up for, 500 burials he was a part of. And I think it was definitely tops as of right now that are at that time were active. But definitely a great story and very fitting since Veterans Day is coming up on Monday.
Absolutely, and we're coming off of Military Appreciation Day at Rams Stadium last week. And, it was absolutely a great piece and a great young man out here playing for Bloomsburg. The lineup's brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters. Find out more about their great service for just $23 a month, and you get a free trash can. You can learn more at panhandledumpsters.com or phone 1-833-DUMP-STR. Well, Bloomsburg going to get the football to get this one underway. A chance to get their offense out there. We heard from head coach Ernie McCook of the Rams. One of the things that they'll like to do is establish that ground game if they can and try to run the clock. They own the time of possession over their opponents, an average of 31 minutes, 49 seconds compared to 28-11.
Bloomsburg going to receive to our left, going against the wind, so Shepard will start kicking into the wind. So would not surprise me one bit if you saw a touchback here from Hayden August Scriven. Saw a couple of those last week in a game where wind wasn't really a factor. The wind blowing off of the Susquehanna to the right of our broadcast position, out of the end zone to the right. So I believe that the wind probably blows off there more times than not. So again, don't be surprised if there is no return here for Bloom.
Well, if there is a return, Chris Monaco back along the near side hash mark. He is deep, and Nifis West is along the far side hash mark. Both of those guys waiting right around the 5 or 6 yard line. Hayden August Scriven approaches, and this ball game is underway. Nice high, deep end-over-end kick that is going to carry right to the back line and go out of the back of the end zone. And just as you surmised, a touchback, and Bloomsburg will have it at their own 25.
I don't surmise much, but when I do, I tend to make it one that can't be too wrong.
Mr. Obvious, is that what you're saying? Well, let's keep an eye on Logan Leiby, starting quarterback, 122 of 209. That's 58% completion percentage. Has thrown for 1,395 yards, 10 touchdowns, but has also thrown 6 INTs. This Ram defense has been pretty good picking off the pass, especially as of late. See if this defense can maybe get an early turnover. I backfield behind the quarterback.
Love it. Love the I formation. Power football.
2 receivers to the wide side, and it's a play-action pass, and ready to float that one up, and off the hands of the intended receiver, Leiby, trying to get that one along the near side 30-yard line to Michael Allen, the wide receiver.
Yeah, Michael Allen had some cushion in coverage, was Dejon Anthony, and Anthony gave him about 3 yards. It just took Leiby a little longer to get the football to Allen, but he was open and would have had a gain that would have given a 2nd and short to Bloomsburg. Good play-action pass to start the game.
Well, and if he had his eyes upfield a little bit more, one of the receivers that had run a little out pattern turned and went up the field when he saw his quarterback coming to the near sideline, may have had a chance at a deep ball. 2nd down and 10. Up under center, Leiby. Single set behind him should be Nelson. They'll hand him the football, and he will work the left side of the line for a pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards. Nice job by that Ram defensive front to be able to shut that play down.
And who else but Chris Lane in on that tackle. Lane coming in, leading the Rams in tackles, 65 already on the season. He is a beast in that front 7 and roams very well. One of the quickest guys on that defense, and he's a linebacker.
Khalil Nelson is the leading rusher for the Huskies. 115 attempts, 511 yards. 3 touchdowns, an average of 4.4 yards a carry. Got 2 here, and so it brings up a 3rd down and 8. Leiby out of the gun, taking the snap. Long throw along this near side, and underthrown, intercepted. Ponce de Leon has it, working his way towards the middle of the field. Grab, slips a tackle, and then gets taken down. The tackle ultimately coming from TJ Tornetta, a wide receiver. It was also Michael Allen, the intended target, who was able to get a hold of his ankle and bring him down, and there's that big early turnover.
The 3rd interception of the season for Ponce de Leon, and 2 earlier in the season in the same game. That was a game a couple weeks back at Millersville that he had 2, so feels real comfortable on the road of playing defense and an early interception, and now Shepard already in the Bloomsburg side of the field. They'll start at the 44-yard line working in.
Yeah, fantastic field position for the Rams. On first down, Bajan out of the gun, hands it off, and straight up the middle. There he goes again, just like he's done the last couple of weeks. It is Deontay Glover cutting to the near sideline and heading in for the Shepherd Ram touchdown, 44 yards.
Deontay Glover really likes the beginning of games. Not only last week, but you look back to that Lock Haven game, a 75-yarder to start that game. Deontay Glover likes playing early in football games, 200 yards plus last week and starting right where he left off, the first offensive snap of the game. And that really sets the tone the rest of the game because that front seven now sees that speed, now sees how good the offensive line is. So that front seven for Bloom's going to have to play a little bit up, and that opens up the middle of the field. So just starting the run game that good that early is just nothing but going to pay dividends later on in the game for Shepherd.
Hayden August Scriven for the extra point. Snap back kick is up, and it is good. He's now 42 of 47 in PATs on the season, and we'll take our first 60-second break with 13:55 to play in quarter number one, and Shepherd in front 7-0.
West Virginia's a Republican state, so why elect a worn-out tax-raising Joe Manchin retread as governor instead of a real Republican like Michael Folk? Mike Folk's the strong pro-Trump conservative who will ban sanctuary cities, stop red flag gun laws, rebuild our roads, and fight liberal tax schemes. Mike Folk's opponents, Justice and Thrasher, two worn-out tax-raising Manchin retreads. Justice pushed a liberal tax scheme, then switched parties for his own personal gain, and Thrasher, an empty-suit Justice Democrat who switched parties after backing Justice's massive tax hike scheme. Jim Justice, Woody Thrasher, two worn-out tax-raising Manchin retreads. They've blown their chance. Mike Folk for governor. Because it's time for a change. Time for a conservative change. Michael Folk, governor.
I'm Mike Folk. West Virginia needs a strong conservative Republican who supports the Constitution, President Trump, and always puts taxpayers first.
Paid for by Michael Folk for governor.
The scoring drive summary brought to you by Mike Folk for governor, accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more about the former Shepherd Ram football player online at folk4wv.com. We'll give you the summary after the kickoff. Hayden August Scriven approaches. High, deep kick again. Monaco's going to let it go as it bounces right at the back line and out of the back of the end zone. Bloomsburg, second possession, like the first, will start at their own 25. The first possession for Bloom ended with an INT. Third of the season for Ponce de Leon. That set up the Rams at the 44-yard line. In the drive, one play, 9 seconds. Deontay Glover in from 44 yards out. His 12th rushing touchdown, 7-0 Shepherd.
Yeah, I believe you call that a play summary, not a drive summary. The scoring play summary when it only takes one. But credit to the interior linemen. Left guard Cole Weaver, center Evan Ostro, and Keandre Batson at the right guard position. Those guys opening up a hole right up the middle. And that is tough to do with those linebackers right there in that front seven. So a great job by those interior linemen opening up that big hole for Glover right up the middle.
Well, out of the I formation, Libby hands it off. Nelson looking for running room near side. Nice job, Ponce de Leon, to fight off a block and then grab the ball carrier and bring him down after a 5-yard gain to the 30.
And that's good field awareness. It was a good job shedding the block by Ponce de Leon, but Michael Allen, as the receiver, realized he was blocking 5 yards upfield, and if he grabbed Ponce de Leon in the open field, probably going to be a holding call, negating what was going to be a 5-yard gain. So a good job at just kind of letting himself be shed as the blocker.
Well, De Leon, you talked about his INT earlier, what he's done in that phase of the game. He's the Rams' second leading tackler, 32 tackles coming in. Libby again under center with that I backfield. This time hands it off to the fullback, and he is met in the hole, grabbed, and will be stopped and taken down. That's Wilson, a defensive end, who was the first to really get his arms around him and wrap him up. Coming out of the bottom of the pile, wearing number 43, that is Jack Gogler. He is a fullback who on this season is the, about 5th leading rusher. Doesn't get a lot of carries.
Only averaging about under a yard per game. 0.22 yards per game.
Interesting note on him, he was an all-state offensive lineman in his high school days.
Knows how to read those blockers up front.
He did pick up a couple out to the 32, so it's a 3rd down and 3. Libby rolling far side, throws back over the middle and is able to connect out beyond the 40 to the 42-yard line. The receiver pulls that one in and picks up the first down on that grab. It looked like 85. That would be Kyle Spalding the second.
Good adjustment by Spalding and turning back into the middle of the field, getting a few extra yards, getting those yards after catch stats padding a little bit. And that's a great throw by Libby, going back across his body back to the middle of the field. Good, strong throw, showing he's got a strong arm to make that throw.
Well, they are able to convert and pick up their first down in the ball game. Now from the 42, still in Husky territory, 11:50 on a running first quarter clock, 7-0 Shepherd. Again, that eye backfield. Libby handing it off. Nelson coming near side, gets a nice block that seals the side and gets him to the sideline, running into that Bloomsburg bench out at the 49-yard line after a 7-yard gain.
And Matt, was that an offensive block by the offensive line, blocked by the fullback Gogler? You could tell he used to be a lineman, getting right into those shoulder pads, into that chest plate, and he's going to get a pancake for that. That'd be a helmet sticker in high school. Matt, can I tell you how refreshing it is that we have seen every one of those Bloomsburg offensive plays out of the I formation? They'll go into the shotgun now, but I love the older school style of college football. They're lining up under center and trying to assert their dominance at the line of scrimmage, something you don't see in college ball at the D1, 2, or 3 level much anymore.
Nafis West now out there, takes the handoff and then gives a little pitch, and on the end around there's now a pass, and the catch is made along the near sideline as Michael Allen ends up stepping out of bounds. Waiting to see who threw that pass. I did not quite get the number. Was it 9? I believe that might have been Gilhole who was able to take that little pitch and then throw the pass.
And it wasn't the first possession, but the second one we see a trick play, and that was an option play. You could tell him holding it in that right hand that he had the option to throw it, but also with the way he was running, definitely could have tucked it away and ran for the first down as well, but a good play and a good throw.
20 yards on that pass completion. And back to the ground game with a handoff to Nelson. Finds a little opening off the right side of the line. Football stripped, but there is one of the linemen to dive on it and maintain that possession for Bloomsburg. Nice job by a Ram defender who was able to get a hand in and knock that football away. But Johnny on the spot was 77. Salvatore Sineglia, 6'3", 275, a redshirt sophomore out of Upper Darby, Pennsylvania.
And that run set up by a good seal by the right guard, Josh Tripp, number 60. Really sealed that inside lineman. Believe that was Ricky Robinson on this near side that he sealed off, and that allowed that hole in that four gap on that right side of the offensive line.
It was a gain of 5. Back to the I formation on a 2nd and 5 from that Ram 26. Play action pass. Libby flush from the pocket, rolling far side. He's going to run and not get much. He got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Chris Lane right there to help bring him down. Dixon and Ponce de Leon as well.
Yeah, and if West, who was lined up in the slot position, listed as a running back, was lined up in the slot, if he realized that Libby was going to run, he could have very easily turned into a blocker, and Libby had a seam up that far side and would have had a blocker in front, but was still a little hesitant going for that block was West, so Shepherd catching a break there.
It's a key 3rd down and 5 coming from that Ram 26. Shepherd would like to hold and maybe force a long field goal, although this could be 4-down territory for the Huskies. Libby out of the gun with a back to his right side, takes that snap, rolling near side, goes down at the 35-yard line. Lane will get credit for the sack.
And all the tackles that Chris Lane has this year, that's just his 2nd sack on the season. Did a good job of staying home, not overrunning that play. Sack going to bring the ball back to the 35-yard line. And I think you got to go for it here. When you're going against the wind, you're definitely out of field goal range with the wind blowing in your face right now for Bloomsburg, and I think that's even going to impact the punt game. So I think it's a good opportunity here on 4th down. It's a 4th and long, so a lot to gain, but I'm not sure how much you gain either way punting the football away.
4th and 14 after a 9-yard loss on that Chris Lane sack. Snap is back, and it'll be one of the pooch punts as Libby gets it out of there. High floater, going to bounce it about the 14-yard line and then be grabbed right at the 15-yard line. That is Kevin Vitti, listed as a tight end, who was able to grab that one.
20-yard difference on that punt, so I guess you gain a little bit. But I think if you're going to punt it away, you try to at least pin it down inside the 10 if that's your plan. May have been an option play for the quarterback to see what the defense lined up in. Either way, it'll be a decent starting field position for Shepherd. Now a whole field to work instead of starting already in Bloomsburg territory.
Well, that was the 4th punt that Libby has had this season, so not the first time that they've pulled that pooch kick. Bajan out of the gun, takes the knee-high snap, looks to the near side, lets it go. Nice throw right over the hand of the outstretched linebacker underneath, and Devin Phelps makes the grab out of bounds out at about the 28.
And Alex Annan in coverage right there, and he was fully extended. That ball, if it's at all underthrown, that's an interception, probably going for 6 the other way, but a great throw by Tyson Bajan to this near side of the field.
Shepard quickly to the line, a little run-pass option, and the throw incomplete, trying to get it to the slot receiver to his right, but in and out of the hands of the Rams' Rodney Dorsey.
And Dorsey, lucky he was moving forward on that play, because if he's even with Tyson Bajan or even a yard behind, that's a fumble, and again, probably picked up and at least taken inside the 10-yard line.
Official from the far sideline very quickly coming in, blowing the whistle, signaling it was a forward pass and incomplete. So it brings up 2nd and 10. Bajan with a throw to the far side. This catch is made by Dorsey. Tries to slip a tackle but cannot get away. Taken down at about the 31-yard line. Short gain on that play. And on that tackle
Chris
for
Monaco, it looked like.
Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah, good open field tackle, just hanging on to Dorsey's ankle, not letting him get away.
So that last gain good for about 3. It brings up a 3rd down and 7. This Ram offense converting 49% of their 3rd downs. Bajan awaiting that shotgun snap. He's got it. Looks to that far side now. A little reverse pivot. Gets some blocking. Dumps it off. Grab is made. And let's see. Dylan Brewer gets tripped up. Will fall forward. He's across the 38-yard line. That gain good for 7 and a Ram 1st down.
Good job by Tyson Bajan, knowing where the pressure is coming from, stepping up into the pocket. Thought there was a chance he was going to tuck it away and run the football. But Dylan Brewer running a perfect route, knowing where the sticks were, and making sure he made that catch a yard in front of that 1st down marker.
Now the Rams on a 1st down. Again, use that wide receiver screen. Devin Phelps with the grab. Dorsey with some nice blocking, allowing Phelps to get to that far sideline. Finally forced out of bounds at the Bloomsburg 45.
And good block by Dorsey on that far side, like you just said. Had a little hold of the chest plate on that shoulder pad of the defender in the area, but made sure he was moving with the play and not restricting that defender from going and making the tackle further back in the play. Did a good job of releasing at a perfect time, not getting called for a hold upfield.
17 yards on that pass completion. 1st down and 10 now in Bloomsburg territory. Bajan steps up in the pocket, throws it over the middle, catch is made. That is Dylan Brewer at the 30. Moves inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line, taken down there by Aaron Tremino, the junior linebacker from Binghamton, New York.
Dylan Brewer now 66 catches on the season, 64 coming into the game, has 4 touchdowns and is averaging about 12 yards a catch. And so far in this game, that's about average of what we've seen from each of his receptions.
Boy, another 18 yards on that pass completion. It's 1st and 10 from the 27. Handoff going to Deontay Glover. Glover finds an opening off the left side, quickly into the secondary, gets taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. A touchdown, a saving tackle on that play for Khalif Hopkins Bay.
And I'm glad Deontay Glover popped right up. It looked like he came down awkwardly, really going backwards. So apparently those feet were able to slide out from underneath him, but that had a disaster written all over it on that tackle.
He picks up 19 yards. How about 63 yards on 2 carries so far for Glover? It's 1st and goal coming from the 8-yard line. Bajan awaiting the snap. He's got it. Fakes that give to Glover. Ball tipped up into the air, batted a couple of times, and ultimately falls down. Incomplete, and the Rams catch a break there. DJ Cornish off the bottom of the pile was diving to try to make that grab and save it for the Rams. Looked like that one bounced in and out of the hands of Chris Monaco defensively.
I think the fact that ball goes incomplete was saving it for the Rams. Not a bad throw, but a good defensive read. That linebacker playing a little further back with that deflection. I think Bajan was expecting him to go more towards that line of scrimmage and come on the blitz, but stayed back and was really shaded behind those defensive linemen. Hard for Bajan to see in that 2nd level.
Bajan going to give to Deontay Glover off the left side of the line. Got hit at the 5-yard line, but breaks through a number of tacklers and into the end zone. That's a Shepherd University Ram touchdown.
Yeah, 2 defenders right there in the area, and I believe 3 made contact with him before he was able to get into the end zone on this near side, and already 2 rushing touchdowns for Deontay Glover. Coming into the game, he had 11 touchdowns, so now 13 on the season.
And he has been outstanding, really picking it up as this season has gone along. The Rams putting points on the board on their first 2 offensive possessions. Hayden August Scriven for the PAT. Snap and placement. Kick is up. It is through. 5:18 remaining in our opening quarter. We take a 60-second break with the lead now. Shepherd 14 and Bloomsburg nothing.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Well, it is West back deep, along with Monaco looking. No, it's not Monaco this time. Got someone else back deep to look to return the kick, although there hasn't been a chance to return. These last couple of kicks have gone out of the back of the end zone from Hayden August Scriven. Low line drive kick coming near side that's going to go into the end zone, and once again will go out, and that was Stephen Arrington back this time along with Knife East West looking to return. But again, Bloomsburg will start at their own 25-yard line. Drive summary, Matt, 9 plays, 85 yards, 2 minutes, 51 seconds. Deontay Glover, an 8-yard touchdown run, is second of this opening quarter. 14-0 Shepherd, and that drive summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor, the former Shepherd Ram, a football player, accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more at folk4wv.com.
And it was good to see Shepherd's offense going the full field. Obviously, the 44-yard touchdown run on the first play offensively for Shepherd was nice to see, but good to see that offense mix it up. Tyson Bajan, good for the most part on that drive. One sketchy pass, if you will, but mixing things up on that long field and a good second offensive drive.
Libby under center with that eye backfield, hands it off to Khalil Nelson, grabbed and taken down by the Ram defensive lineman, that is Ricky Robinson. The gain good for about 4 out to the 29. Tell you, keep giving this young man the football. I mean, as he has carried it, he's picked up 2 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards. Now this carry good for 4 yards. Keep feeding him. He comes in as their leading rusher, and you see why, the way he's been carrying the football.
That's the one thing you get out of the I formation is there's really very little hesitation. You're getting the football and immediately running downhill, unlike when you're in the shotgun or the pistol.
Quick out pattern, and Libby able to connect with his man, but that is a great job by a Ram defender to get over there and quickly cut down Arrington after making the catch.
Yeah, Justin Cole on the open field tackle. Great job just going low, not trying to go high and strip the football. Going low, making sure he brought down the receiver before that first down mark. It does set up a 3rd and short, so expect a run here, and don't be surprised if you see a Gaugler, Jack Gaugler, the fullback again.
He had a run earlier where he picked up 2 yards. It's a 3rd down and 1, and he's not even in. Not the I formation this time, but rather Knife East West out there. He'll line up to the left side of the quarterback, awaiting that shotgun snap. Libby has it. He's going to run it himself, looking for running room to his left, and there is none. And there's our man from last week, Frankie Stevens, the linebacker, stepping up to make the hit in the backfield to tackle at the 31.
And we called Frankie Stevens' name in the second half an awful lot last week, and the play he had in the second half has earned him playing time here in this first half and even in the first quarter of this ball game, and just flying around. You could tell their speed and doing a good job. Everybody staying in their lanes, not allowing a cutback lane at all for Libby, and good defense on the front 7. You got to question why aren't you going to the I formation on a 3rd and short? Shepherd will take it. But either way, I think it was an interesting play call on that 3rd and short to go out of the shotgun formation.
Jocko Satamini to kick it out of there, gets it down to that Ram 41-yard line, and then takes a Bloomsburg bounce to about the 32. So that punt covering roughly 37 yards with out a return. Jocko Satamini, 38 punts, an average of 39.6 yards with a long of 62 coming into that punt that covered about 37 yards. And the Rams have their third offensive possession, leading 14-0 with 3:19 remaining in our opening quarter. Well, the Rams have had a short field. They have had a long field. Now you might call it a medium-length field to start this drive. Pistol formation. Looks like Hebron now out there as the tailback. He'll take that handoff. Looks for some room off this right side of the line and gets very quickly bottled up. Give him 2 out to the 34, but that's a nice job by that defensive front line.
I think Hebron, if he bounced it outside that left tackle, it was a good seal by Eric Oster. I think he could have picked up a few extra yards, but staying between the tackles, knowing his blockers were right there. And a good hard-nosed run, just lowering that helmet, and never really went down, just got bottled up.
By the way, that was Nick Argento out of the bottom of the pile, one of the big fellas up front that really helped to bottle things up inside. On 2nd down and 8, Bajent maybe changing the play call as he steps up to the line. Got Hebron in the backfield, brings a man in motion near side. That's Dylan Brewer. There is the snap back. Handoff to the tailback. Hebron trying to bounce it to the sideline. Oh, wow, he takes a big hit at the 31-yard line and quickly gets taken down. Quentin Gaskill, a freshman defensive back out of Waynesboro, PA, with a tackle.
And there's where Hebron bounced to the outside again. On that left side, Eric Oster creating a good seal on that defensive end. But a good job coming in by the defender Gaskill. Just a freshman, a good read. And legally going to the chest. Yep. Used that shoulder, lowered that shoulder for the strong hit, but did it right into the middle of those numbers for Ty Hebron. Good tackle, bringing up a 3rd down and 10.
The Rams converting on a 3rd and 7 on their last possession. Their second 3rd down they have faced in this opening quarter. Bajent has some time, looks near side, flush from the pocket, hit, football is free, and it looks like it will be Bloomsburg ball at about the 23-yard line as one of the big guys up front.
Alex Fendora coming up with that ball, and that was a textbook fumble recovery. You had one player going in trying for the scoop and score, and Fendora being the big lineman, making sure he was there to just fall on it if that ball couldn't be picked up on the run. A great job. That is textbook, and the defensive coordinator will love that, and the defensive line coach will love that as well. Again, you practice that. That's one of those things you actually spend 5 to 10 minutes on. His practice is in this part of the field. One person going for that scoop, trying to get the touchdown, and if he can't get it, somebody's right behind him looking to fall on it, and Bajent just trying to avoid a sack there and pulled that football back, and perfect execution by one of the defenders to hit that football out and give Bloomsburg very good field position going in.
From the Ram 23, handoff to Nelson over the left side, able to get into that linebacking core where Stevens wraps him up and spins him down, mark it at the 18-yard line. That's still a gain of about 5. Again, I don't know why they don't just keep feeding him the football. I've got him at 28 yards on 6 carries. He's getting averaging 4 or 5.
He's averaging 4.6 yards a carry, so right in between a 4 and 5 a carry, Matt.
There you go. Especially I go back to that 3rd down and 1 situation where they decided to spread the field, bring in a smaller back, and then have him block for the quarterback. That negated their last drive. Let's see what they do here. Best starting field position at the Rams 23. Now 2nd and 5 from the 18. Libby throws near side. Fullback with the catch and gets thrown, or, well, at least spun out of bounds. Nice job by Chris Lane not to actually sling him down as the grab was made by Jack Gogler.
Just his 3rd reception on the year, 19 yards, so only averaging about 2 yards a catch and doesn't do it all that often. But a good job watching that one in. A little bit low throw, but a good job by Libby staying in. He felt pressure coming, knew he was going to get hit regardless, but delivering a throw that was good enough for Gallagher to be able to bring in.
Well, he picks up 5 yards, just what he needed for the 1st down. 30 yards passing in the early going for starting quarterback Logan Libby. High backfield now behind the QB from the Ram 13 on 1st and 10. There's that sprint handoff going to the tailback, and Nelson quickly wrapped up by Ponce de Leon. Boy, he's had a very good opening quarter. The tackle comes after a gain of 1 to the 12, and that may be the final play of the quarter.
Under 10 seconds now in the first, so I believe that is going to be the final play. They'll flip sides of the field, and Bloomsburg, their best field position so far in this game.
There it is. The clock reads zeros. We will take a break and then come back to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and head into quarter number 2 with your Shepherd Rams leading the Bloomsburg Huskies 14-0.
over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here we go into quarter number 2. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Caleb Falero, our engineer at the studio. Eric Sterick, our on-site producer. And John Alderton, our TV10 main cameraman. We are heading to quarter number 2 with a lead for Shepherd, 14-0 over Bloomsburg. But the Huskies are threatening after recovering a fumble. Bloomsburg is at the Ram 12-yard line facing a 2nd down and 9. And now in this second quarter, moving from right to left. Leiby will have West to his right side as he awaits the shotgun snap. Looking over that defense, and now a man in motion, stays along this near side, just gets a little tighter to the formation. The Rams come on the blitz, and here's the pass to the near side, and the receiver quickly spun out of bounds. Nice job by Justin Cole as he was able to get over and knock Stephen Arrington out of bounds right at the 9-yard line after just a 3-yard gain. So they went with the quick out pattern. That is now 4 of 6 passing for 33 yards for Leiby. It will bring up a 3rd down, roughly 6 yards to go from that Ram 9-yard line. And again, down 14-0. Will this be 4-down territory if they don't get into the end zone, or will they go ahead and bring on their very good place kicker, Cameron Schollenberger, for a field goal attempt? They're 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions so far. Leiby to throw, looks far side, now looks near side, lets it go. Knocked away, but a penalty marker is down. Cole was right there with a little hand checking going on against Stephen Arrington. Could have been a no call, but I think we're going to get defensive pass interference.
I think the one thing you see was the separation by Arrington and the hand still on the jersey. I think that's where you're going to get the call, but I'm with you. That separation came from an Arrington shove with that right hand, so I think it could go either way. It really wouldn't surprise me if they picked this flag up. I think it was hands going back and forth. And they're having a conversation right now about that very thing.
Well, let's see if we can get a call. Can you believe we went through that first quarter of play and did not have a penalty? This would be our first penalty. Let's see. Our referee.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. Ball replaces the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Well, they're going to say placed at the spot of the foul.
Well, the spot of the foul was in the end zone, or at least the 1-yard line.
Well, they're going to set the football down, it looks like, at the 6-yard line, so they must be calling for contact that occurred well before the two were kind of hand-checking right at the goal line.
I just don't see that.
Me either. I'm thinking if it's pass interference, it's got to go to the 2-yard line because that interference came pretty much in the end zone.
At least that's when the flag came in, which is what we're basing that off of, and you really didn't see any separation until about that 2 or 1 yard line.
I think they're calling more of a hold the way that I just saw the referee look over to Coach Ernie McCook on the far sideline. Either way, it's going to move that football down to the 6, so that'll be +3, the Rams' first penalty, and it will set up a 1st down and goal to go from the 3-yard line after that Ram penalty. Leiby out of the gun. We'll have it back to his left side. That is Nifis West. Tight slot to that side as well as the fullback. Leiby takes that snap, throws, and too high and wide into the back near corner of the end zone. Wanted to get that one to T.J. Tornetta, a redshirt senior wide receiver, but the pass overthrown.
And good positioning by Cole in the secondary, as that was a good job of pushing that receiver to the outside, knowing it would have had to have been a textbook perfect throw for that touchdown and forcing Leiby to go out of bounds with that throw. Didn't want to underthrow and throw a interception in the end zone and give Shepherd the ball back on a 1st down on a 1st and goal situation.
Second down, goal to go from that Ram 3. 14-0 Shepherd, 14-17 to play in our first half. Back to that I formation. West is the deep man in the I. He takes the handoff, looks for a little cutback lane, but trips and falls right on the 6-yard line. He ends up losing 3.
And I don't think there was contact made. I think his leg got tripped up on a couple of blockers on that right side because nobody there to really make contact with the legs. And that's why his hands are on his hips right now. He wants that one back because he definitely had a seam on that right side.
Yeah, he saw that seam and went to cut back to his left, and as he planted that right foot and then made the cut, whatever that contact was with a lineman or just the turf jumping up and catching him, Nifis West went down. He's their second leading rusher, 71 carries, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns coming into today. Libby out of the gun again with West to his right side. 2 receivers near side. Libby to throw, has a little time, throws it over the middle. In the back of the end zone, the grab is made. That's a nice catch by Michael Allen with Antonio Fox trying to defend.
It was Fox right behind him in good positioning, but a great throw by Libby right on the money, and Michael Allen just having to run underneath it and make the catch. Touchdown, Bloomsburg.
So for Libby, he will throw his 11th touchdown on the season. And for Allen, as I look through the numbers, I don't have, well, there he is at the top of the list. Might help if I start at the top and work my way down, right? Michael Allen, their leading receiver, 47 grabs, 678 yards, and that is now 6 receiving touchdowns. The extra point attempt, and it looked like it got deflected, but it does go through. That is Cameron Schollenberger, who is now 19 of 22 in PATs on the season, and with 13:28 remaining in our first half, Bloomsburg is on the board. It's now Shepherd 14 and the Huskies 7.
For 135 years, you learned to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Teeing it up at the 35 to our right, Cameron Schollenberger. With the ensuing kickoff, we'll tell you how Bloomsburg found the end zone. Our drive summary in a moment. High, relatively short kick along the far side. Well, it ends up bouncing at the 5-yard line and goes by Ronnie Brown and into and out of the back of the end zone. The way Brown was coming up on it, I thought he was ready to catch it on the run. That wind picked it up, maybe carried it just a little bit.
And Ronnie Brown taking a chance there, but it was a well-educated risk, if you will. That ball trailing out of bounds. When it hit the turf, it was going to do one of 2 things, either bounce or one of 3 things. Bounce right up to him again as he was going towards that sideline, bounce out of bounds and give Shepherd very good field position, or do what it did right there and bounce into the end zone.
Well, the drive summary for Bloomsburg after the fumble recovery for the defensive lineman Alex Findora. 7 plays to cover 23 yards, took 3 minutes and 14 seconds, 6 yards on the touchdown pass going from Libby to Allen. 14-7, Shepherd with the lead. Bajan to throw on first down on a little play-action pass. Gets it to DJ Cornish on the near side, and the big tight end out across the 35 gets taken down at the 38-yard line, and that gained good for 13.
And Cornish, a good game last week, and he hasn't been utilized as much this year as he has in years past. Really, the tight end position with he and Alex Wetzel hasn't been what it's been in years past, but he's making contributions when the ball comes his way, very sure-handed as that tight end. Now a 2 tight end formation, Wetzel coming in motion.
There is the snap and the handoff. Deontay Glover to the left. Hit at the 40-yard line and taken down right there. That's a textbook tackle for Gabe Tilford. He's a 5'10", 215-pound redshirt freshman linebacker out of Sunbury, PA. Glover does get 2 out to the 40. We've got him now at about 73 yards on just 4 carries, as he had a 44-yard touchdown run the first time he touched it. May be well on his way to that 154 that he needed to reach 1,000 on the season. On 2nd down and 8, play action pass for Bajan. Has some time along the near side looking for Devin Phelps. There's all kinds of contact. No penalty marker comes in. Phelps was looking for one as he and Karan Jordan got a little tangled up. No flag, no foul, and the Rams will face 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I think there was some contact on both sides, which is why you saw Phelps looking for a flag but not begging for a flag. I think he was trying to create separation as much as the defender was trying to. The defender, Jordan, was trying to stop him on that route.
Shepherd 1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, face a 3rd and 8 here. They faced a 3rd and 7, got it. A 3rd and 10, did not get it. And now another 3rd and long. Bajan dumps it off in the flat on the left side. That is Deontay Glover. Blockers out in front. Nice job by the Big O lineman getting Glover in to Bloomsburg territory and inside of the 45. How about the big fella out there, Eric Ostro, on that left side?
Yeah, Ostro doing a very good job on the left side. Also, number 75, Evan Ostro, blocking upfield, allowing Glover to get some extra yards. So the Ostro boys, I'm sure their parents are happy watching that. Both of them involved on a good blocking, allowing Glover to gain some extra yards out of the backfield.
20 yards on that screen pass sets up 1st and 10 from the Bloomsburg 40. Bagent on the play action, faked that give, and then pulled it out in the throw on the deep slant in and out of the hands of Dylan Brewer at the 30-yard line, incomplete.
Yeah, catchable football, a cold day, so I'm sure that ball coming in nice and hot and hard into those hands of the receivers, but also a little bit behind Dylan Brewer, had to adjust and throw the brakes on to try to go back and get that football.
Did you say a cold day here in Bloomsburg?
It's a bit chilly. I said crisp earlier, and everybody yelled at me and said, no, it's beyond that point.
Yeah, our temperature barely expected to get to about 38, maybe 39 by the end of the day. Handoff Ty Hebron finds a little opening off the left side of the line, darts through that hole and gets spun down at the 30. That gain is good for 10. Should be a Ram first down. Yes, it is. I've got 10 first downs already in this first half of this Shepherd offense.
And that was Cameron Young on the tackle, and he had Hebron for about a 2-yard gain, and Hebron made a good move to the outside, and it forced Young to just kind of run with him until he could catch up.
Bajan awaiting that shotgun snap. Now a whole lot of guys in motion, including out of the backfield. Deontay Glover, he's going to be a wide out here to the near side. In fact, a single wide out to the near side. Empty backfield as Bajan awaits the snap. He's got it. Looking over the middle. Connects with Dylan Brewer. That gain going to be good for just about 5 yards. So all that motion to spread out the field and then look for the underneath route over the middle. The tackle made there by Gabe Tilford. So 2nd down and 5 coming from the 25-yard line in Bloomsburg territory. The Rams scoring on 2 of their first 3 possessions. Just their 4th offensive possession in this first half. Much different than last week. Play action pass deep along the near side for Dylan Brewer. Comes back to the football, makes the grab inside the 5. He is down at about the 3-yard line.
And there could have been a pass interference penalty thrown on that, but a great adjustment made by Dylan Brewer, really swimming over the defender to try to come back and make that spectacular catch.
Dylan Brewer picks up 21 on that one as they set it down at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal coming for Shepherd. Now that has become more and more popular in the game, whether that was an intentional underthrow or whether it was just Bajan didn't get enough on it with that wind kind of in his face, but a great adjustment by the wide receiver. Deontay Glover now in the backfield in that pistol formation. Takes that handoff straight ahead running, gets met at the 2, breaks the tackle. He's into the end zone. It's a Shepherd Ram touchdown. 3rd rushing touchdown of the day for Glover.
3rd of the first half for Glover, and a phenomenal game last week, and he is picking up right where he left off. Not a whole lot of touches in the second half against East Stroudsburg last Saturday. That not affecting him at all. He is rolling in this game, as is the Shepherd offense as a whole.
5 carries, 77 yards, 3 touchdowns now for Glover. 44 yards, 8 yards in this one from 4 yards out. And Shepherd has scored on 3 of their first 4 offensive possessions. Hayden August Scriven for the PAT. It's up and it is good. 10:04 remaining in our first half, a 60-second break. And then we return to Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field with Shepherd leading Bloomsburg 21-7.
Maytag knows extra dirty clothes need extra cleaning power. That's why the power of the extra power button makes Maytag extra powerful. Wow. Dirt doesn't stand a chance against this kind of power. Get a load of this. That laundry is stacked. Not bad, huh? The Maytag Extra Power Button. More muscle to tackle the tough job.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Well, the drive summary brought to you by former Shepherd Ram Mike Folk for governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more at folk4wv.com. For Shepherd, a 9-play, 75-yard drive in 3 minutes and 24 seconds for Deontay Glover. The Rams answer that Bloomsburg touchdown by putting 7 on the board themselves, and the Rams lead 21-7. Hayden August Scriven with a high but short kick into the wind, coming up and looking for it along that far sideline, watching it bounce, and then it's going out of bounds. We get a big, huge hit, and that's going to be a penalty on the Rams as number 80, the wide receiver, Stephen Arrington, came up, let it hit, and it bounced towards the sideline. There was contact made there, and that will add 15 yards to it.
I'm guessing they're saying that ball was already out of bounds when contact was made because he turns into a blocker at that point. He had given up any thought of getting that football when he let it bounce. That has to be, and from our side of the field, it's hard to see whether that ball was out of bounds, but that's got to be the call, that football had already been established out of bounds before that hit occurred.
Well, and Coach Ernie McCook asking questions of the officials along the far side as our head referee makes his way to the near side. The penalty marker looks like it's going to be down at about the 20-yard line where that ball ended up going out of bounds. And I'm assuming they're just going to mark it off from there, so it will come out to the 35. Let's hear from our head referee.
On the play on the kicking team. 1 live ball, 1 dead ball. Both will be enforced. Free kick out of bounds. Bloomsburg is elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31. That 15-yard penalty be tacked on.
So there you go. That becomes virtually 20 yards in penalties, if you will, as the 5-yard, well, not necessarily a 5-yard penalty. The ball automatically goes to the 35, but then the 15-yarder takes it all the way out to the midfield stripe. And so great field position for Bloomsburg to start this possession. 10:04 to play in our first half. Shepherd has now been penalized 3 times for approximately 23 yards. Let's see if Bloomsburg can take advantage of the good starting field position. High backfield with Leiby going up under center. Brings a man in motion, a tight end who sets up to this left side. Leiby turns on that play action, sets up in the pocket, has some time, throws far side, overshoots the intended target, trying to get that one to Knife East West, but good coverage out there. It's actually double coverage with the safety help over the top, and that's Stevens, a linebacker, who was out there on coverage.
Yeah, along with Donnell Howard also in coverage at that cornerback position. That's a dangerous throw by Leiby in double coverage on a windy day. He's got the wind behind him at this point, so I guess he figured it was going to sail, if anything. But if that ball's underthrown, there's 2 guys there in those white uniforms that can turn around and intercept that football.
West going to stay in the game. He'll be in the backfield this time to the left side of the quarterback. Leiby starts his tight end or H-back in motion. He'll be a lead blocker as the handoff is to West, and he will get into that secondary before being taken down by the Ram linebacker, Chris Lane. Mark his progress. It looks like the Ram 41, so a gain of 9 and brings up 3rd and 1. Just the second time we've seen West carry the football. He had -3 yards the first time he touched it from that Ram, really almost 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a half a yard for a first. Well, they faced one of these earlier, a 3rd and 1, and went to that kind of spread formation and a pistol snap. Did not get it. This time around they're going to the fullback in the I formation. And Leiby on the quarterback keeper pushing, and the fullback pushing him forward inside the 40-yard line for the first down.
That is one of those interesting rules in college football. Hey, you can have a guy behind you shoving you. So you're gaining momentum, but you're really getting help gaining momentum. I think he was going to get the first down regardless. Not sure if that fullback nudge helped or not. I believe that was going to move the chains either way. But so it's one of those unique rules in the game of football. You can aid the runner.
Yeah. You didn't used to be able to do that. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line in Ram territory. And back to that spread formation. Two receivers far side, single receiver to the near side. Tight slot to this side as well. That's West back out there as a tailback. Liebig on the play action, rolling far side. Lets it go. Has his receiver. A juggling catch is made by Michael Allen, stepping out of bounds on that far Ram sideline at the 25.
And once again, Allen, a good catch and run. Just had to run right underneath that football. Liebig, a perfect throw. Pinpoint accuracy. Ponce de Leon, similar to what we saw with Antonio Fox earlier on that touchdown, in great positioning. That was just a perfect throw right where it had to be.
7 first downs unofficially in this first half for Bloomsburg. Now from that Ram 25-yard line after the 15-yard pass completion, it is 1st and 10. 8:15 on the running first half clock, 21-7. Shepherd out in front. Liebig has two receivers here to the left. The Rams show blitz, and here they come. Nice job as the line picks it up, and the pass to the near side. Catch made and quickly taken down. Nice job by the Ram defensive back, Donnell Howard, coming up very quickly to take down Stephen Arrington.
Yeah, I've been impressed so far on both sides of the football for Bloomsburg on defense and Shepherd on defense. The amount of open field tackles we have seen. A lot of times you talk about how good gang tackling is, but both teams done a very good job on one-on-one tackles so far in this game.
Not a bad first half so far, for Liebig, especially considering his first two passes were an incompletion and an interception. Right now he's 7 of 10 for 58 yards. 2nd down and 6 from that Ram 21 after that 4-yard gain. Liebig out of the gun. Looking to that far side. Throws over the middle. Pass off the hands of Arrington. The intended target tipped away and then incomplete. Almost intercepted. Is that Womack?
Yeah, if Womack has his head up looking for the football, I think he catches that, and he's got nothing but green turf in front of him going the other way. He was looking to make that hit more than anything. Not a bad defensive play, knowing you have other guys behind you that could possibly come up and make that interception. But I think if his head's on a swivel right there, that's an interception going deep back the other way.
Instead for Tim Womack, bounced off of his hands, fell incomplete. And it will bring up 3rd down and 6 for Bloomsburg. 7:14 on the first half clock. 21-7. Shepherd with the lead. Liebig out of the gun, taking that shotgun snap, dumps it off. It's a screen on the near side. Catch is made by Nifees West. Follows his blockers down inside the 5 to the goal line. He's in. It's a Bloomsburg touchdown.
Well, that was just a textbook halfback, a screen out of the backfield. And coming up limping on the play is Michael Allen. See if he's okay. He's been a very good receiver today for Bloomsburg, but I believe he had that right ankle rolled up on downfield blocking. But that was textbook. You can't draw up a better screen out of the backfield than that. Perfectly executed with more blockers upfield than Shepherd had defenders there.
Hard to believe that is the first touchdown catch for Nifees West this season. Second leading receiver with 28 grabs, 191 yards, but no touchdowns until that one. Extra point attempt is up and good for Schollenberger. And with 7:05 to play in our first half, we take a 60-second break with your score. Now Shepherd 21 and Bloomsburg 14.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Drive summary again, a service of Mike Folk for Governor, paid for by Mike Folk for Governor, accountable, ethical, responsible. Bloomsburg putting touchdowns up their last 2 possessions. This time a 7-play, 50-yard drive, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Ensuing kickoff going into the end zone. It'll bounce and go out of the back of the end zone. Shepherd will start at their own 25-yard line. 8 of 12 passing now for 79 yards for the starting quarterback, Logan Leiby, connecting with Nifeast West for a 21-yard score to cap that last possession. And now this Bloomsburg defense has to find a way to make another stop. Shepherd has had 4 possessions. They've got 3 touchdowns. The only time they were stopped was when Bajan had the ball knocked out of his hand. The fumble recovery set up the first scoring drive for Bloomsburg.
Yeah, this is the 10th game of the season, and Leiby only had 10 passing touchdowns coming into the game, so already 2 in this game. He's well above what his game average is.
Bajan out of the gun, fakes that give, throws on the far side. That's Dylan Brewer with the grab, moving back towards the middle of the field. Got a block out there from DJ Cornish. Brewer gets beyond the 30, mark him at the 32 for a pickup of about 7. Dylan Brewer having another good one. He has really stepped up in this his senior year. 2nd down and 3 coming, and 124 yards passing, 10 of 13 for Bajan. While he hasn't thrown for a touchdown, he's been very effective in that passing game. Handoff to Deontay Glover. Looked like he wanted to go outside to his left and then cut back and was taken down after a gain of, no gain actually, a loss of a yard, back to the 31. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Key down coming for Shepherd. You know, you'd like to keep this drive going after the last 2 possessions have resulted in touchdowns for Bloomsburg. From their own 31, Cornish, the tight end, going to shift from the right to the left side of the line. Looks like a blitz may be coming. Nope, they back out of it. Bajan dumps it off over the middle, and with the first down grab is Dylan Brewer, the slot receiver, just simply down the field about 5 yards, cuts towards the middle, makes that catch in front of the linebackers, and then picks up the first down on a gain of 5.
Yeah, nothing special, just finding a gap in that zone. That front 7 backing off on the blitz, but still not backing up into the secondary an awful lot. And Dylan Brewer just finding the gap in that zone and utilizing it.
I've got Shepherd 3 of 4 on 3rd down conversions in this first half. Remember, we talked about that as a key to the game early on. There is that little touch pass to Devin Phelps, who had come in motion from left to right, and Phelps able to cut through a couple of blockers out to the 48-yard line, 12 yards, and another Ram first down, unofficially 13 on the day. That is a pass play, that little touch pass. It's a way to do it so that in a normal jet sweep you hand that off, but if there's any fumble on the exchange, it's just that, a fumble. In this case, by just touching it and putting some air between you and the ball and the receiver, it becomes a pass. Therefore, if it's dropped, it's incomplete. From their own 48 on a 1st down and 10, handoff this time to the tailback. Glover will pick up a yard to the 49. 7 carries, 77 yards, 3 touchdowns for Deontay Glover in this first half. So 2nd down and 9 coming for this Ram offense. Limited possessions in this first half. It's one of those things Ernie McCook talked about in the pregame show. The Ram head coach knew that would be the way that Bloomsburg would like this to be. Back to throw is Bajan. Dumps it off along the near side, but a little too high for Deontay Glover. Got some pressure that forced that errant pass. That is Sir Michael Larson, who was helping to put on the pressure along with the linebacker, Tom Pellegrino. And the two of them able to force the incomplete pass. 3rd down and 9 coming. Can they get off the field?
This would be a big stop for the Bloomsburg defense. Allow them plenty of time left in this first half. 4:22 as this play is going to be snapped. Plenty of time if they can get the football back to try to put together a touchdown drive. Low snap, and we're going to get a flag. And that's going to be a false start on the Rams.
Yeah, it's going to back them up. Put it at the 44-yard line. Still in Ram territory. I've got Shepherd now unofficially about 4 penalties, right around 28 yards in this first half. We'll take a look at the official numbers coming up as we get into the halftime.
And you hear the crowd getting into it. The first time we've seen the crowd be a factor all day is on that penalty right there, and now also getting riled up along with that Bloomsburg sideline.
Again, snap a little low, but Bajan has it flushed from the pocket, and down he goes. Hasn't been sacked a lot this year, but getting to him this time, Sir Michael Larson, and the redshirt sophomore with the sack. Let's see, they're going to mark it at the 35, -9.
And now only I believe on that fumble, that get credit for a sack as well. So now 8 sacks on the year, just 6 coming into the game. So similar to the touchdown passes we talked about for Libby, well above the game average in sacks for this Bloomsburg front seven. And they have really picked things up after what was a tough first quarter for them defensively.
Noah Pohl on to punt the football away. The snap is back, and it's blocked. It is blocked, bouncing free at the 45 out to midfield, and will be touched dead at the 49-yard line in Bloomsburg territory. That punt will cover only 16 yards as it was partially blocked.
Not what Shepherd needed, and the momentum shift that Bloomsburg needed to continue. This second quarter has belonged to the Huskies, and now very good field position, not quite in Shepherd territory, but as close as you can get at their own 49-yard line. And again, still plenty of time. 3 minutes and 35 seconds and a short field to go for the Huskies. Let's see if they can try to tie things up before this halftime break. This has completely changed the game complexion over the last 10 minutes of game time.
Well, and part of that momentum coming because this offense has been able to put together 2 nice possessions. They've scored touchdowns the last 2 times they've had the football. Libby out from under center with that eye backfield, hands it off to Nelson, gets hit in the backfield but escapes and then drags tacklers ahead. He's got a gain of 10. That's down to that Ram 41, and it'll be a first down.
And now Nelson up to that 40-yard mark on the day, and he's had very good runs on the game so far, but the best of this ball game so far. Lowered that shoulder and drug a few tacklers with him. Took about 3 Rams to bring him down, and the chains are moved.
So from the Ram 41-yard line, a first down and 10. Unofficially 9 first downs in this first half for Bloomsburg. Clock winding as we near 3 minutes to play in the half. Again, that eye backfield. The Rams with the 4 defensive down linemen. The 3 linebackers set. Libby awaiting that snap. He drops the football, picks it back up, and quickly gets taken down. He'll lose only 1 yard, but was fortunate to be able to get that football back. I think that was Stevens who quickly went knifing in there as the linebacker got him. It's back at the 42 minus a yard, 2nd and 11 coming.
And Libby taking a risk trying to pick that football up and still managed to only lose a yard on that play. A lot of quarterbacks would have just fallen on that. It would have been a loss of 3 or 4. Especially with his momentum taking him back. He's still moving 2 or 3 yards back on that play and did a good job of picking that football up off the turf and falling forward. Again, just a loss of 1. Could have been a lot worse for Bloomsburg.
On 2nd and 11, handoff Nifis West. He quickly bursts through a hole getting into that secondary where Ponce de Leon, the linebacker, grabs him. And they're going to give him credit on the bounce all the way down to the 31. I thought he hit the ground at about the 32.5 and then bounced forward.
Either way, Shepherd giving up a couple of big runs on this drive, a couple of 10-yard runs, 10-plus actually, 11 on both of the long runs so far on this drive. And that's something we haven't seen Shepherd do or give up a lot on this season. Again, the first drive of the game, you see teams do a little bit on the run, but this has been a good drive so far deep in this first half, under a minute and a half now remaining, and another good run.
Yeah, Knife East West one more time, getting into that secondary inside the 15 and down to about the 12-yard line, making that touchdown-saving stop for the Rams, Tim Womack. They are ripping them off in some big chunks now. That one good for 19 yards. So a run of 10, a loss of 1, a run of 11, and now this run good for 19 yards. And it is a first down from that Ram 12-yard line.
Minute and 18, minute and 17. Now on a running second quarter clock, and Bloomsburg in no hurry. Still all 3 of their timeouts left. A lot of time and a lot of options. You have the playbook open to do whatever you want to do right now. Another high snap.
Yeah, Libby able to grab that one, hands it off, and no place to go this time for Knife East West. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Again, Ponce de Leon there for the stop, Lane in there, Robinson in there as well, but there were a whole bunch of white jerseys that had him all bottled up.
And West doing a good job just getting back to the line of scrimmage. He tried to reverse field a couple of times and used a couple of stutter steps, but did a good job just lowering his shoulder at the end, making sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Timeouts being taken by Bloomsburg. Their head coach, Paul Dara, a record of 51-27 in his 7th season leading this program, but I say leading, it's his 23rd year here, 16 of those serving as an assistant, and boy, he's been able to keep the winning ways going. Are you ready for this number? 20 consecutive winning seasons coming into this year, but they have to get the win today if they hope to have a winning season, because they're 4-5 overall right now. A win today has them at 5-5, and with one game left, it's a tough one. They host Slippery Rock, but if they could find a way to win that one, they would keep that string going. Otherwise, it's going to finally snap.
And right now they're trying to play spoiler. They know they're not making the playoffs. They are trying to spoil Shepherd's opportunity to make the playoffs. Another loss for the Rams, and they're not going. There will be no postseason for Shepherd. And right now Bloomsburg adjusting very well in between the first and second quarter and trying to tie things up here before the half.
2nd and 10 from that Ram 12. Libby to throw. Looks to the near side. Looks to the far side. Now runs. Nobody's there. He's in. It's a touchdown. Boy, that middle was wide open, and that's a heads-up play by Logan Libby, the quarterback, as he takes it in for the score, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
And just nobody on that far side of the field. Every route coming to this near side, and all he had to do was beat one defender. And he has the speed. We talked about it. He has gained over 300 yards on this season, so the running opportunity is there for him, coming off a 97-yard running game or a rushing game last week. So you know it's there, and you see the speed.
Schollenberger for the PAT. It's up, and it is through. Well, let's take a break. 47 seconds remaining in our first half. Back in 60. It's a brand new ball game. We're tied at 21.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone.
Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our Whirlpool Smart range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
Give me that Phillips screwdriver, would you, kiddo?
Every day, care.
I think I'll keep you around.
Whirlpool.
The level of care that I got at WVU Medicine was top-notch.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
Is really an integration, looking at a clinical care network, looking at the good people who can help push the envelope and raise the bar for delivering a quality healthcare product.
To have my life back is absolutely a blessing. I am beyond thankful for WVU Medicine. I absolutely 100% have my life back.
This scoring summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Paid for by Mike Folk for Governor. 6 plays, 51 yards. Took just 2 minutes and 48 seconds. 12-yard touchdown run for Logan Libby, the quarterback. He now has 6 carries for 2 yards. He was at minus 10 yards on his prior 5 carries, including being sacked once in this one, but that was a big run.
It's all about what have you done for me lately, right?
Yeah, well, and how about the short fields? After the fumble recovery, their first touchdown drive, which was their 4th possession in the first half, went 23 yards. Then, as a result of the kick out of bounds and a penalty after a Shepherd touchdown, they got it at the midfield stripe, went 50 yards. And, well, this one, after the partially blocked punt, they end up going just 51 yards. So they've been able to take advantage of those short fields. The ball blowing off the tee, and that means one of the special teamers will have to hold it on the tee as Schollenberger approaches. Gets away that end-over-end kick. This one's returnable at far side at the 1-yard line. That is Ronnie Brown. Up across the 10. Looks for some room. Stiff arms a man. Now comes to the near side. Gets a nice block. Oh, penalty marker is down. It'll be a block in the back on Deontay Glover. And it'll be half the distance to the goal.
And Glover's not going to like it, but the shoulders were turned, and he didn't get the front of that jersey. It's not just a block in the back. It's really a block to anything but the front. If you cannot see those front numbers on a return, they're going to call that 99 times out of 100.
see where they're going to call it from, as they are putting the flags together right at the 15-yard line. So that would be roughly a 7-yard penalty and move it back to what you would call about the 7.5. I would have 5 penalties, about 35 yards now for the Rams. Again, we'll get the halftime total here coming up in just a moment.
Personal foul, blindside block, receiving team number 9. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
The personal foul blind side block as opposed to maybe blocking him in the back. So the block
is there
itself
a difference?
May not have been illegal. Maybe he did get the shoulders in front. But again, you're supposed to, in those situations, I think, lead now with the hands as opposed to leading with the shoulder. Either way, we got exactly what we expected, and that's the football all the way back at the 7-yard line. And now in a tie ball game, and with only 35 seconds left, I imagine the Rams are going to run it and let the clock run out unless they can break off a big one. Pistol formation. Bajan has it, hands it off to Deontay Glover. He does get into the secondary, out to the 15, and taken down at the 16-yard line, and that gain would be good for about 9 yards.
And that's going to be it. Shepherd's going to basically go into the locker room. We have a 0-0 ball game, basically. The second half, you're starting completely over. Tied at 21. And it's anybody's game going into the second half. What a tale of 2 quarters here in the first half from Redmond Stadium.
We'll tell you all about it as we get into our halftime activities. Our halftime brought to you by WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the best in healthcare close to home. We'll come back after this 2-minute timeout, get our halftime underway from here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. It's a chilly afternoon, but the action on the field has been hot. We are tied at 21.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
To see the inspirations of Miss Yu's tuxedo collection, look to the sky and stars. For the jewelry itself, come to Bechtel Jewelers for the Trunk Show, November 23rd and 24th. These playful pieces are a wonderland of sparkly blacks and whites, plus other festive colors. Gems like shimmering black druzy, onyx, and ice quartz adorn silver and gold. Enjoy sophisticated everyday elegance at the Trunk Show, November 23rd and 24th, and let your inner sparkle shine. Only at Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division I Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
Welcome back into Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field, home of the Bloomsburg Huskies. We are off the banks of the Susquehanna River, and we have had a cold and breezy Saturday afternoon for college football. The Shepherd University Rams getting the early lead in this one, 14-0. At one point led 21-7, but the last couple of touchdowns coming for Bloomsburg, and we are at the half all tied up at 21. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Eric Sterick running our sideline camera. John Alderton, our main camera up top. My partner running our Sling Studio now as we head into the half. Caleb Falero is our engineer back at the studio. So let's recap the scoring in this one. Matt, Bloomsburg got the football first. Third play of the opening possession, an INT for Ponce de Leon. Set up the Rams at the 44 of Bloomsburg. Shepherd needs just one play. Here we go again. Deontay Glover, first touch, 44 yards for a touchdown run. The first of 3 for him in the first half. Shepherd led very quickly, 7-0.
Yeah, and at that point you're thinking, okay, they're different weeks, same story. Deontay Glover running the football very well, and that hasn't stopped the entire first half. It's been the rest of the offense, and really in that second quarter, that has just come to a standstill. We'll talk about that a little more after you finish the scoring recap.
Yeah, second possession for Bloomsburg. They put together a nice 8-play drive, had a couple of first downs, but a big sack by Chris Lane on a 3rd down and 5, forced a pooch punt. The Rams got the football, and, well, second possession, 9 plays, cover 85 yards, an 8-yard touchdown run for Deontay Glover, and Shepherd had the 14-0 lead, and that would be our score going into quarter number 2. Looked like the Rams were ready to run away with this one the way they were moving the football.
They did. They were up 21 or 21-7 at one point. They were moving the football in any way possible. It was very similar to what we saw last week. They were running the football very well. The dual threat of Ty Hebron and Deontay Glover, they were throwing the football very well. Tyson Bagent has only made 1 or 2 questionable throws in this game so far, and really one that I can think of that led to a touchdown regardless. So they've been throwing the football very well. Dylan Brewer having another fantastic game in his senior season. Just once that really 10-minute mark hit in that second quarter, the offense went away.
Well, the third possession for Shepherd resulted in a turnover. Tyson Bagent feeling some pressure, trying to step up in the pocket. A defender got a hand on the football, and Alex Fendura able to recover the fumble, and that would get Bloomsburg going. After their first 3 possessions with a turnover and 2 punts, Bloomsburg would cover 23 yards in 7 plays, getting a 6-yard touchdown pass from Logan Leiby to Michael Allen. That got Bloomsburg on the board and made it 14-7. But Shepherd, on the ensuing kickoff, would put together a very nice 9-play, 75-yard drive. It was a 4-yard touchdown run for Deontay Glover. The Rams, with 10:04 to play in the first half, were back out in front 21-7.
And again, that's where things kind of halted for the Shepherd University Rams. That was at the point where you're thinking, okay, they gave up a touchdown, but it was after a turnover, a short field. They're going to come back. They're going to get another touchdown, maybe 2 before that halftime break, and they hit a wall. The Bloomsburg defense has dialed up the pressure, which I think has been a big part in Tyson Bagent needing to hurry his throws a little bit more, been a little off on where those balls have come to his receivers, and with that pressure, it's been tougher for Ty Hebron and Deontay Glover to break off those big 8-10-yard runs. And on the flip side, Bloomsburg has been able to start running the football, and it's spreading out their offense in the same way that Shepherd had productivity in that first quarter.
And they've been able to do it with the short field. We mentioned the 23 yards, all they had to cover to get in the end zone for their first score after the fumble recovery. Well, after that Ram touchdown to put them up 21-7, a popped-up kick along the far sideline, bounced, was going out of bounds. A Ram player hit the return man as he was letting it go out of bounds. The officials determined that it wasn't necessarily going after the football, which I think the Shepherd sideline wanted. Look, that's a free ball. Yeah. Instead, they called an unsportsmanlike penalty, and Bloomsburg started the possession at the 50-yard line, and 7 plays later, Leiby able to connect with Nifis West for a 21-yard touchdown pass. That was a nice screen pass, very well blocked, and, well, 7:05 left in the first half, and it was 21-14. The Rams getting the football back, and then had a punt partially blocked as they were able to get a couple of first downs and get it out near midfield, but with that partial punt block, it set up the Bloomsburg Huskies at their own 49-yard line, and 6 plays, 51 yards later, with just 47 seconds left in the first half, it was a 12-yard touchdown run for Logan Leiby. Found the middle of the field wide open. The extra point up and good for Cameron Scholenberger, and, well, here we are at the half, 21-21.
And you mentioned after that touchdown run, that gave him 2 yards running on the day. Had really not run the ball as well as we were at least as much as we were expecting, having 300-plus yards coming into the ball game and coming off a 97-yard performance last week using his legs. But you saw the speed, you saw the ability of him running the football, and this has been, I think, a shock to the Shepherd defense, just how well Bloomsburg has adjusted offensively and defensively. You haven't really seen Shepherd in the first half struggle this much going into halftime.
Well, now you've got an opportunity, though, to make adjustments of your own here at the half, and we will see which one of these teams is able to execute those adjustments as we get into our second half. All right, let's take a break, a 90-second break, and on the other side, we'll see what else is going on around the PSAC, the MEC, and the rest of Super Region 1 as we take a look at this week's rankings as well. We are at the half here in Bloomsburg. The Rams and the Huskies tied at 21.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
We welcome you back in. The Bloomsburg Marching Band entertaining the crowd here at Redmond Stadium. Time for us to find out what else is going on around the PSAC with plenty of earlier starts this afternoon.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, Mercyhurst all over Clarion, 57-7. I'm not sure that's a huge shock, but Clarion obviously struggling this year. Mercyhurst, we saw them earlier in the season, not a bad football team at all. A final from Slippery Rock and Gannon. That was a tighter game earlier in the game with the final in that one, 56-7. Slippery Rock getting the win. Slippery Rock already has clinched up that PSAC West. Kutztown and Millersville, that was another tight game earlier, but has gone final. Kutztown running away with it, 37-17. In the fourth, it's Westchester all over Lock Haven, 42-14. And games that have not started yet, Seton Hill and Cal, it's a 4 p.m. kickoff, and what's going to be a chilly one at East Stroudsburg tonight, a 6 o'clock kick. The Shippensburg Red Raiders are in town, so far on the day today, this is the only tight game. Obviously, 2 haven't kicked off yet, but of the finals or games that are about to go final, they've been blowouts and very one-sided football games, so this one really the only tight one in the PSAC so far today.
Kutztown number 1 in the latest Super Region 1 rankings. The victory today going to have them at 10-0. Slippery Rock getting a victory. They're number 2. They would improve to 10-0. We'll check in on Notre Dame out of the MEC here in just a moment, or do we check in right now?
We're checking in right now. Shepherd, if they can get a win, will have some adjustments in Super Region 1. Glenville State in overtime, beating Notre Dame 23-20, giving Notre Dame their first loss of this season, and that is the biggest upset, I guarantee you, in Super Region 1 today.
Well, IUP at 8-1 coming into the week. They were number 4 right behind Notre Dame, so they would tend to be the one you'd imagine that would gain the most. Would Shepherd, with a win today against Bloomsburg, get enough to jump Notre Dame, or would Notre Dame only maybe fall one spot in the rankings? We'll find out on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, it's all about strength of schedule at that point, and there's that one loss to a Glenville team that hadn't been bad this year, but hadn't been great either, with Notre Dame getting their first loss of the season, in a bad time to pick up that first loss in the season. But again, they're guaranteed a playoffs, right? They're going to win the Mountain East. It's just a matter of where they're going to be in that top 7.
All right, behind Shepherd at number 5 in the region rankings was Urbana at number 6, and they suffered a loss on Thursday night of this week.
Yeah, they suffered a loss on Thursday. A final in that game against Fairmont State was 31-7. I'm not sure that there's ever been a situation where Shepherd's been so happy with a Fairmont State win. Obviously rivals, long-time rivals between those two schools. Also in the Mountain East on Thursday was Charleston beating Concord 41-13.
So that more than likely is going to drop Urbana out of the playoff hunt right now, as they will be at 7-3. Westchester was at number 7. They've improved to 8-2 with a win, or at least are on their way if that game has not gone final yet. West Virginia State was at number 8. They were 6-2 today.
7-2. They shut out the Wheeling Cardinals 24.
West Virginia State play Notre Dame next week to close out the season. So, yeah, that does become a big one.
Kentucky Wesleyan was playing Frostburg today in the third quarter. The last update from that one, 28-19. Frostburg out in front, and it's a tie game between West Liberty and Wheeling Jesuit. And we got to go finish with Super Region 1. I got to go to the GMAC as I pull up those score and let you know about Tiffin and Ohio Dominican.
Tiffin number 9, Ohio Dominican number 10 in this week's region rankings.
Ohio Dominican is taking on Lake Erie today, and that a 1 o'clock kickoff, so they're already in the second half in the third quarter. It's Ohio Dominican up 35-10. And in the fourth, it looks like Tiffin is going to hold on for a 28-17 win against Hillsdale, but still some shakeups in Super Region 1, and there could be an even bigger one if Bloomsburg can find a way to pull off the upset against Shepherd here in the second half.
All right, we've still got a 90-second break to take, so I'll give you maybe a minute and a half, Matt. Let's take a look at a little bit of Division 1 football. I know your Maryland Terrapins had a big game today, and WVU with a big contest. How are the Mountaineers doing against Texas Tech?
The Mountaineers fell at Milan Pushkar against Texas Tech, and what looked like it could be a very competitive game. Texas Tech coming in at a very similar record to the Mountaineers, and it was Texas Tech getting the win in Morgantown, 38-17.
Ouch, that one hurts, especially after a great effort on a Thursday night, 2 Thursdays back on the road at Baylor. You were looking for more out of West Virginia than what happened in Morgantown today, although they are a beat-up and young football team under a first-year head coach in Morgantown. How about your Maryland Terrapins?
Well, I joked as we were getting a meal before we came up to the field today that it was amazing. Maryland was a 42-point underdog against number 1 Ohio State. So a 42-point spread in a conference game for good reason. 66-14 is the score in the fourth quarter with 6:35 left. And, of course, the biggest game, I think, at any level of football this weekend, high school, college, pro, I think is that
LSU. It's 21-21 at the half right here. Oh, no. Okay, go ahead.
The LSU-Alabama game. That game's set to kick off in just about 3 minutes from now, so we'll keep you updated on that one in case you're not flipping back and forth in the second half.
All right, there you go. Some scores from around Division 2 and Division 1 as well. We've got a 90-second break to take, and on the other side, we're back with a look at stats from the first half. Our halftime brought to you by WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the best in healthcare close to home. We're at the intermission and tied at 21.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
Well, back again here at Redmond Stadium. Before we jump into stats from the first half, thank you, Jason Kolrick, passing along one other Division I football score. Minnesota pulls the upset of Penn State 31-26. Minnesota stays unbeaten, and now maybe they'll be talked about a little more towards the top of those playoff standings.
Well, I think you could say hello, Georgia, or Clemson. I think it's probably going to go to Clemson. That's going to enter those college football playoffs this week. And it's making for an entertaining college football playoff preview show each Monday from here on out with a couple of good teams that are going to have one loss.
It stinks. You've
got a team like,
I was going to say, you got a team like Minnesota that nobody expected to be where they are, and they're up there, and because nobody expected it, they're going to get the shaft. Nonetheless, we'll talk about that on Miller Time on Monday at 5. Let's take a look at the numbers from the first half, and they are being brought to you by Joe Ferretti Law Office, delivering first-rate service and results for their clients. Vehicle accidents, slip and fall, medical malpractice, bad standings in the playoff pairings. No, I'm just throwing that one in there. But you can call the Joe Ferretti Law Office for a free consultation. Phone 304-596-8854. All right, Matt, taking a look at the team numbers. Shepherd with 12 first downs, Bloomsburg 11 in this first half. The Rams with 90 rushing yards on 14 carries, Bloomsburg 80 rushing yards on 20 carries. Passing, 128 yards for Tyson Bajan, 89 passing for Logan Leiby, the starting quarterback for Bloomsburg. So in all, Bloomsburg 34 plays, 169 yards. The Rams 30 plays for 218 yards. No penalties on Bloomsburg in this first half. Shepherd 4 penalties, 35 yards. The Rams 3 of 5 on third down conversion. Bloomsburg 6 of 7 on third down conversions. Neither team attempted a fourth down. Bloomsburg 2 sacks in the first half, while the Rams have just 1 sack in the first half. And that is a look at some of the team totals. Individual numbers?
Taking a look at some of the individual numbers for Shepherd. Passing, Tyson Bajan is 11 for 16 for 128 yards, and Logan Leiby is 8 for 13 with an interception. He's just got 69 yards on the day. Rushing, Deontay Glover 8 for 86 yards for the Rams. Ty Hebron 3 for 10, so really a one-headed monster this week so far for Bloomsburg. Cleo Nelson 8 for 39 yards, and Nafis West 5 for 39 yards. Receiving, Dylan Brewer 6 for 62 yards. Devin Phelps 2 receptions for 30 yards. 1 20-yard reception for Deontay Glover. DJ Cornish also added a 3-yard reception. Michael Allen for Bloomsburg 3 receptions, 41 yards, leading the way. Steve Arrington 3 receptions for 12 yards. West out of the backfield 1 reception for 21 yards. And a couple of other players getting a reception, but those are your big numbers individually from the first half.
Well, there you go. First half stats brought to you by the Joe Ferretti Law Office. For a free consultation, give Joe a call at 304-596-8854. It wraps up our WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center halftime show. 21-21. We are all tied up. The good news for the Shepherd Rams, they will get the football to get this second half underway as Bloomsburg took the opening kick. So we'll see if Shepherd is able to maybe regain some momentum lost in the latter part of that first half, or whether this Bloomsburg defense is the one to come out and set the tone and keep the momentum going for the Huskies.
Well, it's going to be one or the other. Again, you're basically starting at 0 here. And Matt, before we get into the rest of this football game, as both teams coming out onto the field in Shepherd basketball action. They're the second day of the Clarion Hotel Conference Challenge. The women, with 3:33 remaining in the fourth quarter, have a lead over Virginia State 69-54, so they're looking to improve to 2-0 early in the season, and the Shepherd men getting ready to tip off after them.
Well, Shepherd will receive this second half kick, and the thing that you like, they'll be kind of going into that wind here in the third quarter, but will have that wind at their back in the fourth quarter. That's a good thing.
And we've seen a strong leg for Hayden August Scriven, especially in nasty conditions. He hit a 44-yarder in the rain at Millersville just a few weeks back.
Cameron Schollenberger with the kickoff. It's going down to the goal line, and it's Ronnie Brown who's going to bring it out to the 10 and the 15. Gets a little opening to the 20. Dragtown from behind, just shy of the 25-yard line. And at the bottom of the pile was Aaron Tremino making that tackle. A little bit of extra pushing and shoving on the ground at the end of that play. They separate everybody. No need for a penalty, and Shepherd will have the first possession of the second half, and it looks like they'll set it down at their own 24. Well, the Rams moved the football well in that first half. The last possession right there at the end of the half is when things kind of fell apart a little bit, and they were stopped and then had the partially blocked punt. On first down, throw to the far side, caught by Devin Phelps. He's out to the 40-yard line. They scrimmage that one from the 25, so that gain is quickly good for 15 yards and a Ram first down.
And Shepherd looking like they're going to go in a little more of a hurry-up offense. I think that's a fantastic idea with the versatility they have running the football and throwing the football. I think if you can keep Bloomsburg on their heels, it can only help the Rams, and two receivers stacked to the far side. See if there's a little trickery here.
Bajan awaiting that snap, a receiver screen to that far side. That is Dorsey with the catch, and Rodney Dorsey picks up just about 2, maybe 3 yards. Make it 2 out to the 42.
Now we're going to have some night football, it looks like, here in the fourth quarter. The lights already on here at Redmond Stadium as the sun has gone behind the mountains for the most part, it looks like, which means that temperature is going to drop even more.
On second down and long, man in motion to the near side. That's Freeman. Michael Freeman as a wide out. Bajan to throw, lets it go. Freeman goes down to the ground, getting his hands underneath of it, rolling over, making the catch at the 45-yard line. That gain is good for 3 more and brings up a 3rd down and 5.
I think if you're in a different game scenario right now, that may be a case where on that catch you see number 20, Michael Freeman, try to get that ball without going to the ground, just try to reach down and get it, then try to move upfield. But at this point in the game and the score we have right now, you do whatever you can just to make that catch.
He did just that, and the Rams face 3rd down and medium. Glover goes in motion out of the backfield, sets up on that far side. Bajan alone in the backfield, takes the snap, throws it over the middle. There seemed to be contact, no penalty marker down, and Dorsey can't believe it as Rodney Dorsey was impeded from getting to that pass over the middle. I think Bloomsburg catches a break there with the incompletion, and the Ram punting unit comes on.
I think they do, and that was a great job by Bajan, feeling the pressure and getting that ball out quick, and a great play call to have Dorsey on that quick slant, seeing the pressure. And I'm with you. I think he had to fight through an awful lot of contact to try to go make a play on that football.
So Noah Pohl in to punt the football away. His punt in the first half partially blocked and ended up covering only about 16 yards. Snap is back a little high. He'll get it out of there. Low, wobbly kind of kick. Going to bounce it about the 34. Take a skip up in the air where Ronnie Brown is going to grab it at the 35-yard line in Ram territory. And that punt going into the wind only covers 20 yards.
Noah Pohl had one partially blocked earlier, so not the day that he wants kicking the football.
Well, and the Rams now 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions, failing to convert on the 3rd and 5, and Bloomsburg gets their first offensive possession of this second half. They scored on the final 3 possessions of that first half. Can the Ram defense now make a stop? 1st and 10 from their own 35. They'll go with that I formation. Handoff to Nelson. Met in the backfield, able to break free and pick up a couple of yards. Knifing in very quickly for Shepherd was the linebacker Kyle Smith. But Khalil Nelson able to break that and pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, I think Chris Lane going to get credit with the tackle, finally bringing him down, actually just absorbing that hit and really just wrapping him up with a bear hug and bringing him down.
8 carries, 39 yards in that first half, so now 41 yards on 9 carries for Nelson. Khalil Nelson, 5'9", 225, just a redshirt sophomore out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Takes this handoff, looking to turn the corner on that right side. Ponce de Leon able to grab a hold of him. Penalty marker is down on the play, and let's wait and see what we'll have.
His hand was awful close to that nameplate on the back, and where that flag came in, it's either going to be a hold on that far side or a horse collar on Ponce de Leon. And the way Ricky Robinson is waving his hand, I think it's going to go offensively.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would go as a horse collar the way
Again,
that
I'm not sure it did either. I just know that the hand was near that nameplate before I lost it behind a couple of blockers.
Check with our head referee as he's going to give us the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 4, 15-yard penalty from the end of the line. First down.
Boy, head coach Ernie McCook on the official on that far side. I did not see that on that play. I know that there was the stiff arm from the ball carrier, and De Leon's hand was up high, but from our vantage point, really hard to see that he got a hold of the face mask.
Well, and Ponce was more behind the runner making that tackle, so that must have been a really awkward angle for him to reach around and get a hold of that face mask.
5 penalties, 50 yards now called on the Rams. Moves that football out to the 48-yard line. Still in Bloomsburg territory, but it is a fresh set of downs. On first down and 10, I backfield. Handoff to Nelson. Sprinting here to the near side. We'll get to the sideline. Could have been a hold on the wide receiver on this near side. Michael Allen taking down Ponce de Leon. That freed the corner to allow Nelson to get to that Ram 45-yard line, a gain of 7.
And it's going to go down right now as just a pancake block. On that far side for Michael Allen. Yeah, I'm with you. I thought the hands were extended and Ponce was trying to make a play on that football. Either way, a good gain. It'll bring up a second down and short second down and 3.
On second down, just a single set now in the backfield as the fullback becomes a tight slot to the right. Libby rolling, far side throwing deep and incomplete off the fingertips of Allen as that pass was just a little high. Reaching in there at the end and swatting away as well was Justin Cole. Don't know if he made any contact or not, but was at least there to help make sure of the incompletion.
Well, we've seen Libby on the run make some pinpoint accurate throws, and Allen has been his favorite receiver on those throws on the run, but that time just missed it a little high and had to leave it there. Any shorter and that ball's going to be deflected or have a good chance for an interception.
It'll be a key third down and 3 coming for Bloomsburg. 4 of 7 on third down conversions in that first half. Shepherd defense needs a stop and force the punch. On third down, Libby has Nafis West to his left. Libby wants to throw deep along this near side. A little push off by Allen. Got some separation in behind the Ram defender as he got by Justin Cole. And Allen down to the 10-yard line, a gain of 35. It will be first and goal.
Good throw, good catch, good run. You saw that separation. I'm not sure there was anything warranting throwing a flag. I think that was just a good route. May have been a little bit of a push, but you're not going to get that call. You see the speed from Allen up this near side, and Justin Cole couldn't keep up with it.
Well-placed football. 104 yards now for Libby. He's 9 of 15. A first down, goal-to-go situation as Bloomsburg looks to break this tie. 21-21 our score. Libby out of the gun. As Nafis West to his right side, hands him the football, gets a little opening at the line of scrimmage, and takes it down to the 6. That pickup going to be good for about 4 yards. Second and goal coming. West in that first half, 39 yards. So he's up to 43 on 6 carries. Some pretty good rushing numbers right now for this Bloomsburg offense. An offense that came in averaging about 127 yards a game. They're there now. Second down, goal to go from the 6. West to the right side of the quarterback. 2 receivers out to the right. Snap is back. Libby to throw. It's to the far back corner of the end zone. In and out of the hands of Allen. He had a step on Ponce de Leon, but looking up over his shoulder, Michael Allen could not bring it in.
And Allen had to look at originally looked over the wrong shoulder, had to adjust, went up with that left hand trying to bring it in. Would have been a miraculous one-handed catch. Not a bad throw by Libby at all. Put it right where it had to be. And Allen couldn't come up with it, and now brings up a third down. And if you're Bloom here at this point in the season, depending on what they get, if they get inside the 5, I would expect them to go for it and make this 4-down territory.
Right now, third down, goal to go from the 6, west to the right side of Libby. 3 receivers out to the right. There is the snap back, controlled roll to that side. There is the pass, and caught by Allen. It's a touchdown. Ponce de Leon reaching up, could not get a hand on it, but the grab made by Michael Allen, a 6-yard touchdown pass, and Bloomsburg has now taken the lead.
And what a catch by Allen, going to that far side of the field. Had to completely spin his body around and go back for that football. Ponce de Leon in good coverage. We've seen good coverage by the Rams secondary today. It's just been really good throws by Libby as well. Not much else you can do as a defender. Be basically glued on the receiver. These throws have just been perfect for Libby in this comeback for Bloomsburg.
3 touchdown passes today, lifts him to 13 on the season, and that a big touchdown. 9:48 to play in quarter number 3. We'll take a break with Bloomsburg now leading 28-21.
Wow. If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Bloomsburg has now scored on 4 consecutive possessions. Schollenberger with the ensuing kickoff deep into the end zone over the head of Ronnie Brown out of the back of the end zone, and Shepherd will have it at their own 25. How about an 8-play, 65-yard drive, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Libby connecting with Allen for a second time today. This one a 6-yard score, and it has Bloomsburg in front 28-21, their first lead of the game. They trailed 14-0 in the first quarter, Matt.
And you hate to look at a clock that still says 9:48 remaining in the third quarter. Shepherd needs a touchdown. This is a big drive, 4 straight possessions scoring for Bloomsburg, and right now they have every ounce of momentum in this football game. The Rams have got to find a way to get in the end zone.
From their own 25 on first down, handoff to Deontay Glover. Turns the corner on that left side. Had one of the big fellas out in front. That's Ostro leading the way out beyond the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
That pulling offensive lineman in Evan Ostro, the center, coming from midfield all the way around and being that lead blocker. And Deontay Glover read that perfectly, didn't try to outrun Ostro. And you see that running back offensive lineman connection. You got to love the speed of the offensive lineman Ostro to be able to be that lead blocker in front of a speedy Deontay Glover. Now a quick screen pass outside to Rodney Dorsey. He's across the 45 up to that 48-yard line.
So Dorsey able to pick up about 5 on that first down and 10. That was an 18-yard gain on that prior play for Deontay Glover. So second down and 5 coming from their own 48. Ram football in a key possession early in this third quarter. Glover to the left side of the quarterback. Bage and 2 receivers out to his left. There's that receiver screen far side. Grab made by Dylan Brewer. Nice block and a nice job by Brewer to break a tackle. Dorsey with the block. Brewer breaks another tackle and then goes down to the 35 of Bloom.
And you think there's a little frustration there for Rodney Dorsey on that block? I think he's got a lot of built-up frustration right now after a throw coming his way was not called a pass interference in that last drive. I think you saw some frustration come out on that block. It was a great block by the receiver and a good job, again, reading the blocker in front of you for Dylan Brewer.
First and 10 from the Bloomsburg 35 for this Ram offense. Cornish and Wetzel both move from the left to the right side of the line. There's the handoff going to Ronnie Brown, able to slip a tackle in the backfield, but he gets bottled up and down he goes. It'll be a loss of, 3 yards back to the 38.
And Ronnie Brown will immediately come out of the football game. He still has that high school instinct where he's one of the fastest on the field, and it comes in handy in a lot of situations where he can keep those feet running and bounce it one way or another. It's going to be an exciting running back to watch for the rest of his career at Shepherd. Right there, you got to pick a hole when there's that many defenders right around you and just try to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 13 coming from the 38 of Bloomsburg. Back to throw. Bajent looking to that far side, flush from the pocket, rolling, and now lets it go. A little high for Wetzel off his fingertips. It's incomplete.
Now sets up a 3rd down and long. And if you're Shepherd, I think this is flirting with 4-down territory depending on how much they get on this 3rd down. If they can get up to about that 30 and get a 4th and short, right now you got to get some shred of momentum back. I think it's been a good drive up to this point. They've got to find a way to move those chains again and keep this drive going. That clock right now, 7:40. They stop clock here in the 3rd quarter.
3rd down and 13. Bajent out of the pistol formation, sets up a screen to the near side. It's caught by Deontay Glover. Blockers out in front. He's to the 30-yard line and then upended at the 29 as he held the football out. They're going to mark him down at the, waiting for the official to spot it.
It's going to be right at the 30-yard line. Extended that football out as he was going to the ground. I guess the official saying that he had hit the ground before that football was extended. And they're right at that point in the field, and I think Ernie McCook's going to call a timeout. This is a big situation in this football game.
Yeah, that gain was good for 8. It would set up a 4th down and 5, and the Rams are going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break and then return to Redmond Stadium. We've got 7:09 to play in the 3rd, and Bloomsburg leading Shepherd 28-21.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, coming out of the timeout, Shepherd facing a 4th down and 5 from the 30 of Bloomsburg. Shepherd on this season, 8 of 14 on 4th down conversions, that's 57%. Bloomsburg showing blitz. Let's see if they back out of it. Cornish, the tight end, moves from left to the right side of the line. That's the short side of the field over here. Back to throw. Throw over the middle. Dylan Brewer's got it. He's got the 1st down. Brewer, the slot receiver to the right, made his way across the field, making the catch at about the 25 and turning it up for a couple of extra yards.
That should fire the offense up. You see Brewer fired up, again, knowing right where the sticks are and running a perfect route and gaining some extra yards after the catch, and Shepherd needed that desperately.
7 yards on that 4th and 5 pass play. 16 first downs today for Shepherd. 1st and 10 from the Husky 23. Deontay Glover taking the handoff, running to the left, looks for a cutback lane. Nice job to pick up some positive yards. Boy, it looked like he was going to lose a yard or 2 or maybe only get back to the line of scrimmage, but he managed to get to the 20 for a gain of 3.
And you'll take it.
I've got Glover up to 107 yards on 10 carries now, including the 44-yard touchdown run the first time he touched it. 2nd down, 7 coming. Bajent will again have Glover to his right side. 2 receivers out here to the wide side right. The fake on the handoff and the throw over the middle and intercepted. He threw it just a little bit behind his intended target, and that pass is picked off. Looks like a number 8 coming out of there with it. That would be Cameron Young, who was able to pick it off. I believe, was it Brewer that he was trying to get it to?
And it was a good route by Brewer, and it really hit Brewer on his back shoulder. And I'm not sure that Cameron Young ever turned around and looked at that football. I think it hit Brewer in the shoulder, and Young just took it off of his shoulder pad. It wasn't a clean interception by any stretch of the imagination. And that hurts for the Shepherd offense after getting that 1st down on the 4th and 5, moving the football, their best drive in about a quarter and a half. And right now, the defense going to need to step up. Bloom scored on 4 straight offensive possessions. See the Shepherd Ram defense step up to the challenge here.
Bloom starting at their own 8-yard line. I backfield behind the quarterback with a handoff to Nelson. Running to his right. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. On the stop for the Rams, David Wilson, the defensive end. 2nd down and a 10 coming, still at the 8-yard line. Well, this is a spot where that Ram defense could use a big turnover. 2 turnovers now for the Rams in this one. There has been a turnover for Bloomsburg. That was on their opening possession. On 2nd down and 10 from their own 8-yard line. 2 receivers here to this wide side left. Again, that I backfield. Libby out from under center, giving that little delayed handoff to Nelson. And Nelson, grabbed by Ponce de Leon. He'll make the stop. They're going to mark progress at the 6-yard line. He was brought down at the 5. I don't understand the spot. It's a loss of only 2 instead of a loss of 3.
Either way, it sets up a 3rd and long and another great open field tackle. I said that a lot in the first half. And it's been on both sides for the Huskies and the Rams, doing a very good job in the open field. And Ponce de Leon's had a couple of those today where he's just holding on to the ankle and holding on for dear life.
Now this Ram defense has to make a stop. Bloomsburg is 6 of 9 on 3rd down conversions today. They have kept this Ram defense on the field. Shepherd has to find a way to get it back to the offense now. On 3rd down and 12, there is the handoff to Nelson. He gets taken down at the 9-yard line. That's a gain of only 3. The Rams were not going to be fooled on that play. Lane in there on the stop, and off the bottom of the pile, it's the linebacker, Kyle Smith.
And I think that was a very conservative offensive play call for Bloomsburg, and I think very similar to what you said, it would be a big time for Shepherd to get a turnover. Bloomsburg's aware that Shepherd has forced an awful lot of turnovers this year, and now 15 on the season. And I think they did not want to put that ball in the air and give any sort of opportunity for anybody in that Shepherd secondary to come down with an interception. So playing it very conservative there, keeping it on the ground, and this should set Shepherd up for good field position. Almost blocked.
Yeah, Satamini getting that punt out of there, and it will be taken by Zane Lewis at his own 49-yard line, and then gets hit and driven backward. Let's see where they're going to spot his progress. He caught it at the 49. Got driven backwards, and they're going to mark it as a 2-yard loss on that play back to the 47-yard line. How about that punt of 42 yards with the wind at his back for Jocko Satamini? So 3:51 to play, quarter number 3. The Ram defense gets the big stop that they needed. And now let's see if the offense can find pay dirt, down 28-21.
Unfortunately for Zane Lewis, no blockers in front of him because they were all coming trying to block that punt, so you run that risk. And Lewis able to get some sort of return, but not going to get much with no blockers and about 6 of those gray uniforms right in front of him.
On 1st and 10, quick pass far side. It's a screen caught by Devin Phelps. Nice block by Rodney Dorsey, springing Phelps down that sideline to the 38 of Bloomsburg.
Man, I don't know about you, but I'm very impressed with how well the Shepherd receivers have been blocking today. They've done it all season long, but this is really above and beyond what we've seen so far this season, doing a very good job in one-on-one coverage on the outside.
From the 38 of Bloomsburg, a 1st down and 10 coming for the Rams. They've got 17 first downs on the afternoon. Right now down by a touchdown. Looking to try to tie this one up. Bajan awaiting the shotgun snap. He's got it. Looks over the middle. Looks to the far side. Now steps forward. He manages to escape. Still on his feet. Lets it go. Near side catch made. Dylan Brewer gets by a man at the 25. Tripped up at the 22-yard line. Oh, boy. A great Houdini act by Tyson Bajan.
Just coming out of a pile of players. Looked a little like reminiscent of Eli Manning back in 2007. That famous throw to David Tyree where he had a Tyson Bajan had a defender pulling on the back of his jersey and is able to get out of it and find a receiver in Dylan Brewer. A lot of the receivers, including DJ Cornish, who was wide open at the 25-yard line, had given up on that play. Brewer wide open, staying with that play the whole way, and Bajan doing a good job of not only avoiding the sack, but finding that receiver upfield.
1st and 10 from the 22. Handoff to Deontay Glover. Nice move to get around a man in the backfield. Bust to the outside as Devin Phelps gets the block, and a flag comes in. They're going to call Phelps on the hold as Glover got down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
I was hoping they wouldn't. I think it was a hold. Had those arms fully extended. And I think it'll be into the run, so not going to be as long of a penalty as if it were by an offensive lineman back at the line of scrimmage.
Offense number 1.
It'll come 5 yards into that carry, but what a move by Deontay Glover right at the beginning to avoid a loss in the backfield.
Yeah, that should have been a 2 or 3 yard loss on that play, and did a very good job. Just planted that right foot and bounced it to the outside.
6 penalties, 60 yards now whistled against Shepherd. And can you believe this? There hadn't been a single penalty on Bloomsburg this entire day. And that is, I'm not saying it may not be possible, but certainly hard to believe.
I think you just said it.
I did. I had to. All right, let's move that football back. And Bajent on the throw near side, hitting Wetzel out of the backfield. And Wetzel able to pick up a couple of yards. They scrimmaged from back at the 28-yard line. And he will get down to about the 26 for a gain of 2.
And just a simple play out of the flat for Wetzel, and tried to use some moves to get around a couple of defenders. I think would have been better off just trying to lower that shoulder with his size and get a few yards. Either way, moving the ball in the right direction for the Rams. Once again, it'll be Bajent in the shotgun formation. 2 to the far side. Glover in as the running back.
Second down, about 14 yards to go for a first. Bajent taking that shotgun snap. Looks over the middle. Hits Dylan Brewer, who will turn it upfield, spin, and pick up an extra yard or 2 before being brought down by Chris Monaco. They'll set it down close to the 17-yard line. That gain is good for about 9, and another crucial third down, a 3rd and 5 coming. And Brewer having himself another big game. From the 17-yard line of Bloomsburg. Clock winding in this third period, 1:16 remaining. 28-21 Bloomsburg with the lead. On third down, snap is back. Play action pass back over the middle. Dylan Brewer leaps in the air, makes the grab at the 5 and gets taken down at the 3-yard line. First and goal coming for the Rams after the 14-yard pass completion.
That play eerily similar to the interception on that previous drive. Dylan Brewer not going to let that one go, doing everything he could to bring that football in. And Shepherd now first and goal opportunity, trying to tie this football game up in a very good offensive drive for the Rams so far, but they got to finish it and get 7 points.
Yeah, nice throw from Tyson Bajent to hit Dylan Brewer. A couple of guys from Martinsburg High School back in the Eastern Panhandle. On first down and goal to go. Handoff Deontay Glover. He's to the goal line. He's in. Great push by that offensive line as Glover scores his 4th rushing touchdown of the day.
And that is the drive that Shepherd needed. Right now the momentum was to Bloomsburg. I think that defensive stop put Shepherd going in the right direction, and for the offense to capitalize, including what was a couple of penalties or a couple of lost plays having to fight through. Very good offensive drive for the Rams.
Well, now the all-important extra point for Hayden August Scriven, 41 of 46 coming into today, and has made his prior 3. There is the snap back, the placement, the kick. It's on the way, and it is right down the middle. We take a 60-second break with 34 seconds left in quarter number 3. Don't go away. We're now tied at 28.
West Virginia's a Republican state, so why elect a worn-out tax-raising Joe Manchin retread as governor instead of a real Republican like Michael Folk? Mike Folk's the strong pro-Trump conservative who will ban sanctuary cities, stop red flag gun laws, rebuild our roads, and fight liberal tax schemes. Mike Folk's opponents, Justice and Thrasher, 2 worn-out tax-raising Manchin retreads. Justice pushed a liberal tax scheme, then switched parties for his own personal gain, and Thrasher, an empty-suit Justice Democrat who switched parties after backing Justice's massive tax hike scheme. Jim Justice, Woody Thrasher, 2 worn-out tax-raising Manchin retreads. They've blown their chance. Mike Folk for governor. Because it's time for a change. Time for a conservative change. Michael Folk, governor.
I'm Mike Folk. West Virginia needs a strong conservative Republican who supports the Constitution, President Trump, and always puts taxpayers first.
Paid for by Michael Folk for governor.
Hayden August Scriven puts it on the tee at the 35 to our left. The ensuing kickoff after a Rams 7-play, 53-yard scoring drive in 3 minutes and 17 seconds. A 3-yard touchdown run for Deontay Glover, his 4th of the day, 15th of the season. He's up to 115 yards unofficially on 12 carries for those 4 touchdowns, and the Rams have tied Bloomsburg 28 all. August Scriven approaches. High but short kick along the near side, taken at the 25-yard line, and the return man looking to get out of some traffic and can't do it on that return. Stephen, Arrington, and Arrington will get tripped up at the 26-yard line. Drive summary brought to you by former Ram Mike Folk, running for governor in West Virginia. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at folk4wv.com. 29 seconds left in quarter number 3. Matt, the Rams got a nice defensive stop after the INT gave them the Bloomsburg, that is, the football at the Ram 8-yard line. It was some conservative play calling. Let's see how Bloomsburg plays this one.
Right now they got to go back to what was working for them on the previous 4 possessions. And that was mixing things up, going a little more through the air than on the ground, but mixing in that run very well.
Now we're back to each side of the quarterback. Libby out of the gun, sets up the screen on the near side. It's caught by Nelson. Nelson getting to the sideline. He stays in bounds, going out of bounds, and let's see where they're going to spot him, out at the 45-yard line. So that gain will be good for about 19 yards.
And a good backdoor screen. Starting in the backfield as a blocker was the running back Nelson, and then released into the backfield. Libby hitting him perfectly and had blockers out in front. So a very good play call to start this offensive possession for Bloomsburg. And let's see if they get the play off. 2 seconds, 1 second. They're not going to. That's going to finish the third quarter.
And there it is. We'll head to quarter number 4 when we return to Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field with Bloomsburg and Shepherd tied at 28.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
First and 10 Bloomsburg from their own 45.
Oh, here we go. Bloomsburg football as quarter number 4 gets underway from their own 45. First down and 10. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our main camera. Eric Sterick down on the sideline. Caleb Falero back at the studio. Play action pass over the middle. Allen is wide open along the far side between the hash marks and the numbers. Antonio Fox finally grabs him and makes the stop, but not until that Ram 34-yard line.
Yeah, Chris Lane dropped back in a zone coverage as a linebacker, and his zone coverage stopped and was expecting backside help from Ponce de Leon and just didn't get there quick enough. And right now Bloomsburg moving the ball very efficiently.
Yeah, 21 yards on that pass completion, 12 of 19 now. Add that together with the prior totals, and that's 150 passing yards now for Logan Libby. First and 10 from that Ram 34. Libby with a back to each side. 2 receivers here to the wide side right. Looking over that Shepherd defense. Rams right now with 4 down linemen, but look like they may bring a linebacker. Here comes the pass to the near side. Allen again with the catch. Able to get by Antonio Fox. Ponce de Leon comes from behind to help make the stop. Looks like they'll spot him inside the 25 at the 24. That's a 10-yard gain, but hold on. Penalty marker down in the backfield.
See what it is. They're still putting the foot, moving the football up, and neither team, I think, knows what this penalty is.
Personal foul, hands the face, defense number 99.
Well, the personal foul will come at the end of that play that went down to the 24-yard line, so it was 10 yards on that pass completion. Back-to-back grabs for Michael Allen, 160 passing yards now for Libby. He's 13 of 20, and add the half the distance to the goal penalty down to the 12-yard line, and Shepherd has now been penalized 7 times for 72 yards compared to 0 penalties for Bloomsburg. Again, I'm not saying it can't happen.
Just a little lopsided.
But just a little bit. from the 12-yard line, first down and 10. Libby out of the gun, has a back to his left side. There is the handoff. Is that Nelson or is that West? I'm not sure. Didn't get the number as he moves off the right side of the line down to about the 8, and that is Nifease West. That's N-Y-F-E-A-S-E, Nifease West, redshirt junior out of Philadelphia. So a pickup of just about 4 down to the Ram 8-yard line, a second down and 6 as they can get a first down without getting into the end zone. West now up to 47 yards on 7 carries. Bloomsburg not in any hurry. They like to run as much time off that play clock as they can. Love to play that time of possession battle. Libby out of the gun, looking to that far side, now wants to run and will get to the about 2-yard line before Chris Lane is able to force him out. Let's see where they're going to spot him. It will be right on that 2, so a gain of 6, and that may be enough to give them first down and goal to go.
It should be.
Yeah, I agree, based on the last
they're going to call
spot.
it 3rd and 1. So they're going to say he went out at the 3-yard line rather than the 2. Based on, and now they're moving that stick forward, so it's going to be.
It's 3rd and inches. He must.
Never mind, they're not giving him the first down. They had the yard marker still on 3rd down as it was moving forward. Shepherd has had several goal line stands this year, and none at this point in the season will be bigger than this one if they can get it.
First down, goal to go from the 2, I formation, and the handoff West. It breaks through, and he's in for the Bloomsburg touchdown. Nifease West goes in from 2 yards out, his first rushing touchdown of the day.
Frankie Stevens was the first one there, had him wrapped up, just could not bring him to the ground. And a big touchdown for Bloomsburg.
6-play, 74-yard drive. And it puts them right back out in front. They answer that Ram touchdown and do it in impressive fashion. Hey, this team came in riding a 3-game winning streak, feeling good about themselves and feeling a little bit better the way they're playing right now. Schollenberger for that extra point. Snap, hold, placement. That kick is up and good. Barely got it inside that left upright. We'll take a break. 60-second break. We've got 12 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the contest. And your score now, 35-28, Bloomsburg in front. I did not have a carry for him in the second half, so rushing, Libby 6 for none, so that would be like 7 for 6, and that is going to be 1460 minus 1228, 232, 32.
Back deep for Shepherd, number 9, Deontay Glover, along with number 30, Ronnie Brown.
Come on, somebody bounce one here. Schollenberger with the ensuing kickoff. Sends one along the near side hash mark, taken by Deontay Glover at the 12-yard line. He's up across the 20 and out to about the 25-yard line, and then gets taken down close to the 30. Well, the drive summary for Bloomsburg, 6 plays, 74 yards, took about 3 minutes, 1 second off the clock, a 2-yard touchdown run for Nifease West, and that has Bloomsburg right back out in front, now 35-28. Now it's up to the Ram offense to see if they can respond. They've got the wind at their back now in this fourth quarter. They do set the football down right on the 30-yard line. So a nice return by Glover, and the Rams have 70 yards in front of them. Play action pass, and it's thrown near side. Devin Phelps the catch, and very quickly gets spun down. Nice tackle, Cameron Young, who has an INT to his credit as well.
And just based on the body language of Tyson Bajan on that throw, you could tell the first and second read were immediately covered. He felt the pressure, had to get that out quick. A good job by Devin Phelps, who brought that in. I think may have bobbled it a little bit before making that move. But either way, you're moving in the right direction, gain of 5. Got to keep this drive going for Shepherd.
On 2nd down and 5, Bajan to throw, a wide out to that far side, caught by Devin Phelps, slips through a tackle, gets into Bloomsburg territory, and then gets spun down at around the 46-yard line. On that far side looks to be Chris Monaco on the coverage. Another Ram first down, their 21st of the afternoon. Quickly to the football at the 46 now in Bloomsburg territory. So a gain of 19 on that pass completion. Good afternoon so far for Bajent, although there have been the pair of INTs. There is, well, I should say, an INT and a fumble. Bajent back, steps up in the pocket, throws deep along that far side. He gets it in stride to Devin Phelps, who goes into the end zone for the Shepherd University Ram touchdown. What a great throw over the outstretched hand of a diving defensive back and into the hands of Devin Phelps for 6.
Could not have been any better placed on that football. Still looking to get the number. Believe that was a 28. Yeah, Logan Yawn. And he was in good position, and he could not have been more outstretched to try to deflect that football away. Wasn't going to be intercepted, but he was at least going to try to get a hand on it. But a perfectly delivered football. Devin Phelps runs right underneath it, and you see the deep threat of Devin Phelps coming to fruition right there. And we're an extra point away from tying this game up, and it's blocked.
Not only is it blocked, but the football's still loose, and eventually it's going to be picked up by Bloomsburg. They could return it for 2, but the returner is tackled, and with the extra point blocked, 11 minutes, 15 seconds left in the ball game, and we'll take a 60-second break with Shepherd now down by a point. It's Bloomsburg 35, your Shepherd Rams 34. Do you know who blocked it? I have no clue.
I have no idea.
John, could you tell from your camera work who blocked it?
Blocked, that's all that matters.
You are really vested in this now.
I'm a Ram fan, dude.
Be sure to visit Applebee's after the game. Located on Route 11 in Bloomsburg.
You want to go to Applebee's after the game?
I got 311.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Nothing else happened there. The Ram players kind of staying out of that mix.
Yep. You don't need a stupid penalty right now on either side. Bloomsburg, you don't want to take what was a touchback, move it back inside the 20 for Shepherd. You don't want to move that football up. So I get you're in a competitive football game right now, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of a play isn't going to help either team, especially for the Rams.
1st and 10 from their own 25. Bloomsburg football with 11:15 to play in this one. And this Shepherd defense has to make a stop now, down by 1 point. The offense has been moving the football. How about the numbers for Bajan? 26 of 34 unofficially, 311 yards. Has thrown for a touchdown. Does have 1 interception. Also had a fumble with the ball knocked away from him back in that first half. On 1st down and 10, Libby out of the gun as a back to his left side. Wonder if Nelson's been a little banged up. We haven't seen him a lot in this one. Handoff going to knife east-west, quickly spun down. That's Dixon, who was the first to get to him. Also, there was Jawan Addison. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from their own 25.
Good job putting pressure by that front seven. Weren't bringing anybody extra. It was just a good push by those interior linemen, Ricky Robinson and Scott Dixon. Haven't called Robinson's name a whole lot in this ball game. That front seven has got to step it up here, as I believe Bloom's going to try to run the football a whole lot more right now, just try to drain as much clock as they can.
Yeah, be aware of that play action, though. As Libby out of the gun again, has knife east-west to his right side. Two receivers to this right side as well. Libby wants to throw. Now flush from the pocket. Slides down at the 20. Let's see. They're going to spot it at the 26.
Yeah, that
where
should have
that
come
hip
back a
came
yard.
down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even where the hip comes down. It's where he starts to give himself up, which is why that ball was put back at the 26, not the 27-yard line. His hip went down at the 27. That's a good job of officiating on that far side. In college now, it's no longer where your first touchdown. It's where you give yourself up on the play. It's a good spot.
So 3rd and 9 after that gain of just 1, and so far Bloomsburg 6 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. Shepherd needs a stop here. Libby out of the gun, has some time in the pocket, throws, and the pass tipped and then incomplete. Great job by one of the linebackers. I believe that was Lane who got his hands up and knocked that ball down.
Great job by Chris Lane. Almost intercepted on this near side. Either way, it's going to force a punt. And a good job by the Shepherd defense stepping up in a crucial situation in the football game. And where this ball is going to be kicked from, it should be decent position for the Shepherd offense. The wind at the face of the punter.
And that is Jocko Satamini. He had a punt earlier in this half with that wind, that went for 42 yards. He barely gets that one out of there. A low line drive that's going to bounce at the midfield stripe, take a little bit of a Bloomsburg roll down to the Ram 43, and that punt into the wind going to cover 31 yards with no return. And with 9:37 to play in this one, Shepherd takes over down by a point, 35-34. Good field position to get this drive going, and the Rams now have scored on each of their last 2 possessions. A 7-play, 53-yard drive, and the last one a 3-play, 70-yard drive. If you get the touchdown, you're going for 2?
It's a tough call. That's why we're up here, and Ty Hyatt and Ernie McCook are down on the sideline.
On first down, the handoff going to Deontay Glover. Wrap up that football, big fella, as he battles through some traffic down to the 48-yard line in Bloomsburg territory. That gain is going to be good for 9 yards.
And I know Shepherd needs to win this game and next week to still have their playoff hopes alive. But does this kind of have the feeling of a playoff-type atmosphere right now? A code-red game for the Shepherd Rams, and it's been that way the last 5 weeks. And another tight football game here in Week 10.
Receiver screen near side grab made Dylan Brewer. He stumbles forward but will have the first down. Brought down by Cameron Young. Mark it at the 46, a pickup of 2 yards. And the Rams able to move the sticks and get a fresh set of downs. From the 46 in Bloomsburg territory. 23 first downs unofficially now for the Rams after that gain of 2. Bajan taking the shotgun snap, hands it off. Deontay Glover running left, finds a little cutback lane, and picks up 2 yards. Nice job by one of those big guys or a linebacker. Can't call. It was one of the big guys up front. 94, Sir Michael Larson. I say big guy. He's 5'11", only 225, but as a defensive end, made a very nice tackle.
Using that size well.
Yeah.
Guessing there's a lot of muscle on that 225 frame.
2nd down and 8 from the 44 of Bloomsburg after that 2-yard gain for Glover. Bajan taking the shotgun snap, looking, throws over the middle. Alex Wetzel, the tight end, with the catch to the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 and another Ram first down. Good job by Bajan and a good job by that line. They kept him protected. He had time in the pocket to go over his progressions.
Clock will start again as they move the chains, now hitting that 8-minute mark remaining in the football game.
Bajan will have 2 receivers each way, one stacked right behind the other. Now Cornish coming in and will line up in a standard tight end position to the right side of the formation. There is the snap, the quick screen pass near side. Dorsey with the reception will get taken down out of bounds on the near sideline after a gain of, it looks like about 3. So Rodney Dorsey with the positive gain. Clock still moving, 7:35 and counting. That is down to the 27-yard line. So that was a pickup of 4 on that play. A 2nd and 6 coming. It's a nice gain. Glover behind the quarterback Bajan in that pistol formation. There is the snap and the give. Nice job by Glover. Able to avoid some contact right at the line of scrimmage. He pushes forward inside the 25. Mark him down to the 23. That's a 4-yard gain. And here comes 3rd down and 2. Crucial down for this Ram offense. Not sure if Glover's going to quite get where he needs to reach 1,000 yards on the season, but he's going to be close.
I think they'll take a win instead.
There is the snap, and a penalty marker is down as Glover is hit, sticks the football out as he got back to the line, and not much more. And now we'll check what that penalty is.
It's going to be an offsides, or lining up in the neutral zone, it looked like on the initial signal.
And the first penalty of the game whistled against Bloomsburg comes at the 6:41 mark of quarter number 4, and it's +5 for an offside penalty. And their first penalty is costly as it will give the Rams a fresh set of downs. Oh, my. 1st down and 10. Now with that football at the 18-yard line of the Huskies. Clock winding, 6:25 and counting. Screen pass far side, caught by Dylan Brewer and tripped up as he got inside the 15 and goes down to the 11-yard line. 7 yards on that pass completion. Boy, that is a long throw to the wide side of the field.
Good job moving upfield after the catch for Dylan Brewer. He's having a whale of a football game today.
2nd down and 3 coming. The Rams threatening, down by a point. Clearly in field goal range for Hayden August Scriven, who's 8 of 9 on field goal attempts this season, but Shepherd doesn't want a field goal.
No, you want to get in the end zone.
Empty backfield. Glover comes in motion, and Bajan wants to throw. He's hit. He throws towards that far side and incomplete. Ends up throwing it over the head of Karan Jordan, who was out there trying to guard Deontay Glover, who had come in motion. Incomplete pass, and it will bring up 3rd down. That's what our head referee's saying.
And you got to, if you're Tyson Bajan, hold on to that football. That was a very risky play, almost on a knee, making that throw. I'm not sure whether he was trying to get it to the intended receiver on that far side or just trying to heave it out of bounds. Either way, I think you got to take the sack on that one.
You breathe a sigh of relief. All right, 3rd down and 3. Football at the 11 of Bloomsburg. Bajan out of the gun. Now turns and calls for a timeout. That play clock was winding down. The Rams did not want to give up the penalty yardage, and so the sideline calls a timeout. Bajan was turning to call it as well, but I think it had already been called on that far side of the field. Hey, thanks to our presenting title sponsor, Smallwood Small Insurance, and thanks to each of our sponsors for supporting our coverage of Shepherd Ram football, Hagerstown Ford, Panhandle Dumpsters, Mirius Group, and Ameriprise Financial, Joe Ferretti, Law Office, Green Tree Realty, as well as Mike Folk for governor. Hey, the Ram volleyball team got a win over Bloomsburg last night while they were here, and now the football team trailing by a point, looking to rally and get the win in this one. And we understand the Ram women's basketball team's off to a 2-0 start to the season.
Yeah, they got a good win earlier in the day against Virginia State, and 79-63 was the final in that one. So the Lady Rams start 2-0 on the season.
Boy, and that is huge for a football team that, or basketball team, I should say, that had a lot of question marks coming in. Here we go, out of the timeout. On 3rd down and 3, Brewer in motion from right to left, puts 2 receivers this way. Hand off to Deontay Glover. He will have the 1st down as he slipped to tackle, gets down to the 5. A penalty marker down at the end of the play. Could it be a face mask as part of that tackle?
It's got, yep, and that is a signal as a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 20. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
So that's a 3-yard penalty. 2 penalties, 8 yards on the afternoon for Bloomsburg, but 2 in this possession, and they have been costly. So the Rams will have it now, a 1st down and goal to go with the football right around the 3-yard line.
Feet running, keep the feet running. He's in.
He's in, yes. How about one more for Deontay Glover, who got hit but kept the feet churning and drove that pile into the end zone, and he's in one more time. 5 rushing touchdowns today for Deontay Glover.
And none bigger than that one. I mean, every one of them has been important in this ball game. But at this point in the game, 5:31 remaining. And Shepherd's going to stay on and go for 2, so that answers your question, Matt.
I kind of thought they would. I mean, if you get the single-point conversion here, a touchdown and extra point gives them the lead or possible victory anyway. So if there's a risk of going down in any way with a touchdown and a PAT, I think you got to go for it here. Good decision as Ernie McCook sends out that play.
If I'm Shepherd here, I'm running the quick kind of misdirection pass. I'm sending Rodney Dorsey in motion and giving it to him with 2 blocking receivers on that far side.
And there he goes. Dorsey does go in motion. They don't give it to him. Snap is back. Bajan rolling far side. Lets it go back of the end zone. Dylan Brewer, he's got it. The 2-point conversion, good.
Well, Bajan, a lot of options on that play. He sent Dorsey in motion. He was wide open just inside the pylon. Made the tougher throw to Dylan Brewer in the back of the end zone and put it in a perfect location as there was a safety in the area. Either way, 2-point conversion is good and a big score for Shepherd. They have the 42-35 advantage late in the fourth quarter.
Let's take the 30-second timeout, and then we return to Bloomsburg, where Shepherd is now up by 7. Summary brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. 10 plays, 57 yards, 4 minutes and 6 seconds. A 3-yard touchdown run for Deontay Glover. His 2nd of the half, his 5th of the day, and the 2-point conversion puts the Rams in front 42-35. Okay, electrifying play of the game. The touchdown, the 2-point conversion, or maybe even the Devin Phelps touchdown on the prior possession. We've had some big plays late in this one.
Why don't we wait another 5 minutes and 31 seconds? This game ain't over yet. You could see another big one here to come, but Shepherd now in the driver's seat once again in this football game.
Hayden August Scriven with the ensuing kickoff, a line drive that will go right to the back line and out of the back of the end zone. And Bloomsburg, with 5:31 remaining, will have the football down by a score at their own 25. Not the way that many may have expected this one to play out when you looked at the records and so forth, but this is a Bloomsburg team that had begun to turn some things around, winners of 3 in a row coming into this one after that 1-5 start. Wins in their last 3 games at East Stroudsburg, against Lock Haven, and at Millersville, teams that you would expect them to have gotten victories against, and they have come in here today hosting Shepherd and have played them, boy, nose to nose. On 1st down and 10, Logan Leiby out of the gun with a back to his right side. There is the snap back. Pocket is collapsing, and down he goes. Nice job, as Kyle Smith, I think, is going to get credit for that sack. Dixon is in there as well. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it will count as a sack.
Got to love the excitement of Ponce de Leon after that play as well. Getting to the quarterback. I think Shepherd defense back in a groove. It had been a rough third quarter, a rough second quarter.
Yeah.
But I think right now, getting their footing back underneath them, and good defenses step up in big situations. And right now, Shepherd needs 1, maybe 2 more stops in this football game. But it starts right here on a 2nd down and 11.
From their own 24, Leiby out of the gun. Has that snap. Sets up, now flush from the pocket, rolling near side. Penalty marker is down. Leiby's going to be chased out of bounds by the Ram leading tackler, Chris Lane, at about the 26-yard line. But let's check that penalty in the backfield.
Well, there was a hold on the backside of that play. I'm not sure they're going to get that hold, but it looks like it's going to be a hold on Bloomsburg one way or another.
Yeah, they're going to go talk to Josh Klein and ask whether he wants the result of the play or he wants the hold, and he's going to say, give me the 10 yards, please. So 3.
Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
3 penalties whistled against Bloomsburg in the last, as I look over at the clock, basically 2 minutes. They didn't get their first penalty till 6:41 to play in this ball game, an offside penalty that helped the Rams in their last scoring drive. Then there was a 3-yard, half the distance to the goal face mask penalty, and now this 10-yard holding penalty. 4:41 left in this one. It's going to move that football back to the 14-yard line, and it will be second down, 21 yards to go for a first. Libby from the gun. Has the snap. Pocket begins to collapse. He dumps off that little screen pass to Knife East West. Caught from behind, and they're going to get him for the horse collar tackles. They'll say Chris Lane grabbed him around the top of the jersey, up where that nameplate would be, and they're going to get 15 yards at the end of the play. Oh, boy.
And I love the effort for Chris Lane, but you don't need to make that tackle. He's running out of bounds. You got a bunch of other defenders on your team coming up.
Horse collar tackle. Defense number 10.
And again, you appreciate the effort. You want him to bring him down. You want to bring him down and keep those extra yards from being gained. But he was clearly going out of bounds. I just don't think that's a play that needs to be made. If anything, you just kind of got to shove him out of bounds at that point.
That's 8 penalties, 87 yards whistled on the Rams in this one. The football will get moved out to the 32-yard line, still in Husky territory, and Bloomsburg will have it, a first down and 10. Clock nearing 4 minutes left. Shepherd in front, 42-35. Libby from the gun, has the snap, gives the handoff. That's Knife East West, hit and held up and taken down. A gain of 2 on the play. Nice job again by Dixon, De Leon, Smith, Lane, a whole host of Rams in there to stop him after that 2-yard pickup. Set it down at the 34-yard line, second down and 8 coming.
3:40 and counting on a fourth quarter clock.
And this is where Bloomsburg, they haven't shown it, at least so far in this one, the quick strike type of offense, and this is where it gets hard for them. Down by a score and needing one relatively quickly on second down and 8. Libby to throw, and in and out of the hands of his intended target along the near side as he tried to get it to Stephen Arrington.
Well, it wouldn't have been a first down, but it surely would have helped Bloomsburg bring up a third down and short. Now it's still a third and long. 3rd and 8 upcoming. And right now, I think Bloomsburg, this isn't 4-down territory. You got to punt the football away if you don't get this. They still have all 3 timeouts remaining. So it'll be up to it. That's if they don't get the first down here. It'll be completely up to that defense form if they don't move the chains here.
On 3rd down and 8. West to the right side of the quarterback. 3 receivers out to the left. Libby to throw over the middle and incomplete. The pass intended for Allen, but very well defensed by Donnell Howard. And with the incompletion, decision time now for head coach Paul Dara and his coaching staff.
Well, I think this all depends on how much you trust your defense at this point in the game. And right now it looks like they are going to bring the punting unit out. There's definitely some conversation on that sideline. I'm sure every coach putting in some input. If you're the offensive coordinator, you're going, we can get this, we can go for it. But with 3 timeouts, this is the correct decision for Bloomsburg.
Watch for a fake if you are Shepherd. Satamini setting up at the 20-yard line, awaiting the snap. He's got it, and we'll get it out of there. That kick going to bounce at the 30, and then take a nice Bloomsburg roll down to the 20-yard line. And it will be Ram football at their own 20 after a 46-yard punt. That's a nice kick, especially going into the wind. 3:06 remaining. And the Rams with a chance, with a first down or 2, to maybe be able to ice this one away. Be a hard-fought victory if they are able to get it. Wow.
At this point in the season, a victory is a victory.
That's it.
Just ask Notre Dame. Would they have rather had a tough victory today or lose?
First down and 10 from their own 20. Bajent pistol formation, going to hand it off to Deontay Glover, moving to his right, slows down, looks for a cutback lane. There is none. He'll get taken down for a loss of 1 on the play, and that'll be the first timeout taken by Bloomsburg. Let's go ahead and send it to the studio. We'll take a 30-second break and then return to Redmond Stadium with Shepherd leading Bloomsburg 42-35.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone.
Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
Give me that Phillips screwdriver, would you, kiddo?
Every day, care.
I think I'll keep you around.
Whirlpool.
We welcome you back in to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. The sun fading as darkness is calling, and for the Shepherd Rams, hoping that they can walk out of here as the sun sets with a victory from their own 19-yard line. A 2nd down and 11 coming. Glover, the deep man, in that pistol formation. They fake the handoff, and it's the quarterback keeper. Bajan turns the corner on that far side. He'll go out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That gain will be good for 6 yards, and will bring up a 3rd down and 5. Would have liked to have stayed in bounds.
That's the only criticism I have on that play, is you almost would rather give up a yard and hit the deck.
Well, but still at 2:43 left, the clock continuing to wind at this moment. It won't stop, I don't think, until it gets right under the 2-minute time frame, and then going out of bounds is when it will stop. They're letting that clock continue to wind as Bloomsburg tries to hold on to a timeout. 3rd down and 5. Power pistol this time. There is the snap back and the handoff, and Deontay Glover going to get wrapped up and taken down. And now the quick timeout taken by Coach Dara and his staff, as the punting unit will have to come on for the Rams after that loss of 2 yards, it looks like, as they'll set the football down. So Bloomsburg calls the timeout. They'll have 1 timeout left. The Rams facing a 4th down and 7, 2:16 left in this one.
Noah Pohl hasn't had the best day punting the football. Had one partially blocked and had one into the wind that only gained just over 20 yards. If he's going to have a good punt on the day, this is the time to have it. He's with the wind. I'm not sure if you're Bloomsburg, what your special team strategy is here. Do you go for the block, or do you make sure you have guys back to block for the returner?
That is a tough call, honestly, in this situation, when you consider you don't want to go in and potentially rough the punter, so you put the punt block on and maybe end up getting to the punter. I think you're setting up the return, and we get that idea right now as they send 2 men back.
Yeah, 2 men back, so watch for some sort of a trick play on the return. One is up, one is back, and more of a blocking backs on that far side is Cameron Young, more of that blocking return man. A spread out front right now for Bloomsburg. And if you're Pohl, you try to angle this towards the sideline if possible.
Michael Allen back deep. There is the kick off the side of his foot, and he does angle it right out of bounds into the Ram bench, and that is not the punt that they wanted, as they are going to mark it right on the 45-yard line, and that punt's going to cover only 22 yards. Ooh, that one hurts.
Yeah. You want to angle it towards the sideline, but you want a little more distance before you get it to the sideline. And just 45 yards to cover for Bloomsburg trying to get into the end zone. It's 4-down territory from here on out.
Yeah. Yep, you've got to do everything to keep this drive going with 2:10 left, and they've left themselves 1 timeout. So from that Ram 45, Bloomsburg football, who will prevail? Will it be this Husky offense or this Ram defense that makes the big play to end this game? Libby out of the gun. Knife east west to his right side. Rams jump. Looks like they got back in time. No flag down. Libby flush from the pocket, rolling far side. Lets it go, throws it into the Rams bench, and incomplete. He did have Michael Allen on that side down the field.
Yeah, and you have an offensive lineman right now, I believe it was the center. Now make that the right tackle. Begging for an offsides penalty. And, Matt, I'm with you. I thought for sure that I saw some early movement in the neutral zone by Scott Dixon. So I think Shepherd catching a break there. Good pressure put on by the Rams, however. forcing a bad throw on that far side by Leiby.
I thought it was Kyle Smith as well on the outside who was offside, but nonetheless, he got back apparently before the snap of the football. Snap is back on a 2nd down and 10. Leiby flushed, and down he goes. Smith's going to get the sack. Football came out, it looked like, at the end of the play, back at the 45 in Bloomsburg territory. That's a loss of 10.
And a big play, a big sack by the linebacker Kyle Smith.
They are not going to burn the timeout.
No, you got to keep it at this point in case you get inside the red zone. But you would have thought there would have been a little more urgency. Taking an awful lot of time getting that play in. A 3rd down and long upcoming, and the clock now down at 1:30 before that ball snapped.
3rd and 20. Leiby to throw. Has some time. Sets up. Lets it go. Far side. Allen with the catch, and will get forced out of bounds along the far side. Let's see where they're going to spot him. It looks like they are going to put it at the 35-yard line, and he got the first down.
Wasn't sure whether he stepped out of bounds right before.
We've got a Ram player down back at the 42-yard line in behind the play. They gave up a little ground to allow the completion, but could not get him out of bounds before getting to that 35-yard line. And so that gain going to be good for the 20 yards that they needed and the first down. I tell you, Allen has really done some damage against this Ram secondary. Came in as their leading receiver, and Michael Allen showing why today. It's that Dixon it is who is slow to get up. He is to his feet and will make his way to the far sideline. Oh, boy.
One minute, 24 seconds left. Shepherd trying to hold on to what has been an absolute roller coaster of a game.
Yeah.
Middle 2 quarters went to Bloomsburg. I think that was pretty obvious for those of you that were watching. The first quarter was all Rams, and they're hoping the 4th quarter can go to the men in white as well.
First down and 10 from that Ram 35. They'll set up the middle screen, and Knife East West with the catch, and very quickly taken down by Chris Lane. Mark it at the 30. That'll be a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5 coming from that Ram 30-yard line. 5th play of this possession that started with 2:10 to play in the contest. Now down to 1 minute. Leiby to throw. Deep along that far side, and the pass will be incomplete. Antonio Fox just a little late in getting there. He wanted the INT, but could not get there in time. And that looks like Chigozie Aniekwer, who was able to be back there in coverage.
I think Fox got there. I think that ball went right through his hands. He was fully extended. And by his reaction, I think that could have very well been an interception. Either way, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Again, 4-down territory. Clock now at 56 seconds. So the minutes now off the clock. We're talking about how many seconds are left in the ball game. 3rd down and 5 upcoming for the Rams.
From the 30-yard line of Shepherd, Bloomsburg football. Leiby has that shotgun snap. Has some time. Looking near side. Lets it go, and it will go out of bounds. And a penalty marker is down. A penalty marker is down. We do have Dwan Anthony back in coverage, and I believe they may call him with a hold.
Matt, that ball was 5 yards out of bounds. That is an uncatchable football on the sideline. If this is pass interference, I do not agree at all.
Pass interference. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So that is a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot for pass interference. And another costly penalty for the Rams. That is going to lift them to 9 penalties and now 102 yards, and that's an unofficial total. That one hurts. 1st down and 10 now for the Huskies. As they catch a break there, move the football down to the Ram 15-yard line. Fresh set it down with 50 seconds left. Shepherd in front, 42-35. Can the Ram defense get a stop?
Still 1 timeout left for Bloomsburg.
Leiby out of the gun, has some time. Now hit and down he goes. Great job once again for Smith. I would have that as the 3rd sack of the day for Kyle Smith. Got some help in there on that play as well from, it looks like, big number 98, and it is Nasheed Bridgman.
Timeout taken by Bloomsburg. Their final of this football game. What's so impressive about the last couple of sacks for Smith is there hasn't been a big rush put on. It has been penetration by that front 4 down lineman and one linebacker coming.
-5 yards. We'll move it back to the 20-yard line. 7th play of the possession coming, and it will bring up a 2nd and 15 coming out of this timeout. Well, next up for the Shepherd Rams, they'll close out the regular season at home next week, entertaining Seton Hill. If they can hang on in this one and get a win in that one, you would imagine they would secure themselves a playoff spot, currently 5th in the Super Region 1 rankings. And with Notre Dame being upset ahead of them, I don't know if the Rams will climb or not. It's just the first loss for Notre Dame compared to the 2 losses for Shepherd, but we will wait and see. Meanwhile, for Bloomsburg, next week they'll close out the regular season with a very tough matchup. Well, they were originally scheduled to play Slippery Rock, so we'll have to see who they will play, as Slippery Rock will actually be taking on Kutztown in the PSAC championship game. 2nd down and 15 from the Ram 20-yard line out of their final timeout. Bloomsburg football. Back to throw. Libby lets it go along the near side and intercepted. It was underthrown and picked off. A great job jumping the route by the Ram defensive back. It is Donnell Howard with the INT.
And a big interception, huge interception. I believe we're going to get an excessive celebration at the end. But if you're Shepherd, obviously you don't want extra penalty yards added on, but who cares at this point? Phenomenal interception and a big defensive stand, a couple flags coming in. So Shepherd going to lose some yardage, but it's not going to matter. All they're going to need to do with just 39 seconds is drop to a knee, and they are going to escape Bloomsburg, go back to Shepherdstown, 8-2 on the season, and the playoffs still alive for the Shepherd Rams. What a football game. And I think after one snap, everybody in Ram Nation can take a big cumulative exhale from this one.
Wow. Well, not yet. Let's find out what the penalties are and make sure.
Either way, Shepherd's getting the football. Those were dead ball penalties. Shepherd will keep the football.
And the officials continuing to talk. We have yet to see an indication of what the penalties will be. If there are multiples that will move it and how far back.
There is multiples. One was back at the 50-yard line. One was down right after the play. So I think it's going to be 2 separate dead ball and sportsmanlike conducts on Shepherd. I think they're just trying to figure out where the ball is placed and how far back these penalties are going to go.
He's on the play. It's an interception. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Shepherd number 5. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Shepherd number 6. Both fouls will be assessed. Both players are charged with their first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. The game course disqualification.
So turnover number 2 for Bloomsburg. It is a big one as the Rams take over. They move it all the way back to the 5-yard line, and it will be time to drop to a knee in the victory formation for Tyson Bajan and the Rams.
And again, it should just take one play, 39 seconds on that clock. Play clock should reset to 40 after the play. So it should just be one snap of the football.
Well, the officials still making sure that everything is set up and now making sure they get the correct football on the field. And I think
they'll back it up even more.
Yeah, back them all the way down to, it looks like, the 3-yard line. We're 2.5 is where you put it technically. But
and at this point, Bajan's going to have to get under center. He can't get into the victory formation out of the shotgun.
Yeah, because he's going to have to literally drop to a knee immediately. He does just that at the 1-yard line. They have started the play clock, but it is several seconds behind the game clock, and that is it. Are you able to breathe now?
What a football game. I'm telling you, if this is any indication what the playoffs are going to be like, I really believe this had that playoff feel to it. Bloomsburg trying their very best. And going into the fourth quarter, it looked like they were going to have a very good opportunity to pull off this upset and knock Shepherd out of the playoffs. With 3 losses in Super Region 1, the Rams would have very little shot of making it to the postseason, but they're going to hold on. They improved to 8-2, Bloomsburg dropping to 4-6, and for the 6th consecutive week the Rams are going to put a tally in that win column this week at Bloomsburg.
We'll tell you all about it as we come back on the postgame show, brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Again, we remind you, a 2-minute timeout, then back for the postgame with the final. Shepherd 42, Bloomsburg 35.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone.
Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
Give me that Phillips screwdriver, would you, kiddo?
Every day, care.
I think I'll keep you around.
Whirlpool.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back into Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, where the Shepherd Rams have, you might say, escaped with a 42-35 victory. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Caleb Falero's at the studio. Eric Sterick, our sideline camera operator. John Alderton running our main camera here today for Rams football on TV10. The postgame show brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Auto, home, life, business, disability, retirement. It's your total insurance solution at Smallwood Small. Phone 304-263-3361. All right, the Shepherd Rams at the intermission had a tie game at 21-21. They had a 14-0 lead after one, took a 21-7 lead in that second quarter. Bloomsburg scored on 3 straight possessions to close out the first half for them. They tied it up 21-all, and then we got the second half started and wondered, okay, how is this going to play out as the Rams would get the football first? And Shepherd would put together a 15-yard pass completion on their very first play to pick up a first down, but then 3 plays later forced a punt. The punt went only 20 yards. Bloomsburg gets the football at their own 35, and they would score on their 4th consecutive offensive possession, a 6-yard touchdown pass going from Leiby to Michael Allen. Second time they had connected on the day. That capped an 8-play, 65-yard drive, and Matt Shepherd trailed for the first time 28-21, and we were looking at each other going, oh boy, we are in for a game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I said it a couple times in the broadcast. This had playoff atmosphere to it all the way. Bloomsburg, not a playoff team, but giving the Rams everything they could handle, and Shepherd proving why they deserve to be a playoff team. Good teams find a way to win close games like this. Not saying Bloomsburg is a bad team, but I think with Shepherd clawing their way back in and scraping a win on the road deep in the season with just one game left to play in the season just shows that they are just that much better than Bloomsburg. Again, that much better, one score. I really think that is accurate of how good both of these teams are. We wondered defensively how Bloomsburg was going to play in this game, a very good defensive football team, and they were everything they were hyped up to be in this one, especially in that second and third quarter.
All right, so Bloomsburg has a 28-21 lead. Shepherd, their second offensive possession of the second half, they're driving. Started at their own 25-yard line. They get to the 20-yard line of the Huskies, and an INT on a quick slant pattern stops the drive. Second Ram turnover of the day. Bloomsburg has it, but at their own 8-yard line. They go 3 plays and out. The punt covers 42 yards, but the Rams get the football at their own 47, and Shepherd puts together a 7-play, 53-yard drive. Deontay Glover runs it in for his 4th rushing touchdown of the day, a 3-yard score. We were tied at 28, and, well, nothing had been settled in the third quarter. We were tied at the half. We were tied going into quarter number 4, 28-28. Getting the first points of quarter number 4 would be Bloomsburg, a 2-yard touchdown run for Nafis West, capped a 6-play, 74-yard, 3-minute, 1-second drive. 12:28 left in the game, 35-28 Bloomsburg. Shepherd's going to respond, right? Well, they did. They then get a 3-play, 70-yard drive in 1 minute and 8 seconds, 46 yards on a beautiful touchdown pass from Tyson Bagent to Devin Phelps. Only touchdown pass of the day for Tyson Bagent, but you couldn't throw one more pretty than that.
No, it was absolutely beautiful, just past the outstretched arms of the defender. Devin Phelps runs a perfect route right underneath that football, and you're thinking, all right, extra point, we're going to be tied again. Not so much.
Extra point blocked. Shepherd down 35-34. I'm ready now, though, to give that touchdown pass to Devin Phelps. Our electrifying play of the game brought to you by Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg, offering top names in kitchen and laundry appliances like Amana, Maytag, Genair, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, for Grill Masters, Traeger Grills. And hey, now you can take that word appliance out of there. It's just Orsini's, and they've got bedding and a whole lot more as well. Check out their brand new location. The grand opening was held just yesterday. They're at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. All right, so the Rams now down by a point. They have to make a stop, and they're able to do just that. Shepherd gets the football back with 9 minutes and 37 seconds left in the contest, and they put together a 10-play, 57-yard scoring drive. Took 4 minutes and 6 seconds, and it was capped by who else? Deontay Glover with his 5th rushing touchdown of the day. This one from 3 yards out, just like his prior one in the second half. And the Rams took the lead 42-35 on a 2-point conversion throw from Bagent to Dylan Brewer. And then the defense does the rest as the Rams get the 1-touchdown win.
And, Matt, I usually don't disagree with you on the awards of the game that we give out. I think we got to have an honorable mention for the Donnell Howard interception. That sealed the game.
It did.
Bloomsburg in scoring territory and driving after a tough penalty call on the outside, and that interception sealed the game. So while, yes, that Dylan Brewer, or the Devin Phelps touchdown catch and great throw from Tyson Bagent obviously gave Shepherd the lead late in the ballgame with about 5 minutes to go. Not going to argue with you there, but I think there's got to be a co-recipient this week. That Donnell Howard interception sealed the game for the Rams in a big defensive stop, and the Rams gave up points today, but when they needed to, they got big stops.
The electrifying
plays.
Offensive play of the
Bingo.
game, the electrifying defensive play of the game, and that, fellas, is how you work that out. All right, so there's a recap of our scoring. Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio. We will take a 90-second timeout, our final one of the postgame show, and when we return, we'll run some numbers from this one. We'll name our player of the game. I think we know who that is. And we'll also check out scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1 as we put the finishing touches on today's broadcast of Rams football on TV 10. One more time, we remind you the final, Shepherd 42 and Bloomsburg 35.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
For over 36 years, Green Tree Realty has been helping the Shepherdstown community find a place to call home. Our friendly team is ready to help you navigate the market and is your trusted resource, complete with a wealth of experience and local knowledge. For those looking to buy land, commercial property, or a home, we'll help you find the perfect fit. From staging and negotiations to closing and beyond, we're with you every step of the way.
We are back one final time here at Redmond Stadium and Danny Hale Field in Bloomsburg, where Shepherd gets the win 42-35. Wow, it was exciting. Let's take a look at the numbers first, and then we will wrap things up with scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1. Post-game stats brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors Phil McCoy and John Everson. Give them a call at 304-263-4343 with your financial or investment questions. Or you can stop by and see him at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. With a look at the numbers, here's Matt.
Overall team stats before we get into some individuals. For Shepherd, they finished with 140 rushing yards on 28 carries, just 91 rushing yards for Bloomsburg. First downs, 25 for Shepherd, 20 for Bloom. Passing yards total for each team, 336 for Shepherd, 207 for the Huskies of Bloomsburg. Total offensive yards, Shepherd ran 67 plays for 476 yards. Bloomsburg just under 300 yards at 298. That on 66 plays. Third down conversion rate, Shepherd 5 for 10. Not bad at all, right at 50%. And Bloomsburg just a hair over 50% at 7 of 13. Shepherd 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions, and that was a big one. And Bloomsburg did not go for it on a fourth down. Time of possession looks like this. Bloomsburg held the ball 31 minutes and 49 seconds. For Shepherd, 28 minutes and 11 seconds. Those are your overall team stats in this one. Let's take a look at some individual stats for the Rams. Through the air, Tyson Bajan, another good game, 30 for 39, 1 interception, 336 yards, and just 1 touchdown. He was sacked twice. His favorite receiver on the outside was Dylan Brewer, 13 catches for 134 yards. Devin Phelps added a touchdown. That was 1 of 7 receptions for 130 yards. Rodney Dorsey, 4 for 14. Deontay Glover, 2 for 28. Running the football, Deontay Glover really the only Ram back that did a whole lot out of the backfield today running the football. He carried the ball 19 times for 139 yards. He had 5 touchdowns and did not lose a football. Actually, the net yardage, 135, did have 4 yards that he lost on the day, so 19 carries, 135 yards for Deontay Glover. Ty Hebron, 3 carries for 10 yards. Let's go to Bloomsburg. Throwing the football, Logan Libby went 16 for 29, 2 interceptions, 187 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times, and none bigger than 2 on that last drive for the Shepherd University Rams. On the outside, Michael Allen, a very good day, 8 receptions, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that feast West. 3 receptions, 29 yards, and a score. Running the football is West, carrying the ball 11 times for 54 yards. Khalil Nelson, didn't see him a whole lot in the second half. I'm with you, Matt. I think he may have been nicked up a bit, but he ran the ball 13 times for 44 yards. Did not find the end zone, and Logan Libby carried the ball 11 times, and he netted -9 yards. He gained 20 yards officially on the day and ran it in for a touchdown. Those are your final stats from this one.
There you go, and this look at the numbers in the Smallwood Small postgame show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Call them at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. We need to make it official, the player of the game.
I believe that's going to go to number 9, Mr. Deontay Glover.
Yes, I am in full agreement there. What a game again. 5 rushing touchdowns. And, again, he set the tone with the very first carry, 44 yards.
Yeah, he's magic at the beginning of the game. I mean, it's been now 3 times in this season that the first time he's carried the football, it's gone for a touchdown. This one, a modest 44 yards. It wasn't 70-plus like the other 2, but a whale of a game coming off of a 220-yard performance to follow that up with 135 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns. I mean, one whale of a game. That's not, 8 touchdowns in the last 2 games?
And while we wanted to see him reach the 1,000-yard mark here tonight, he's, about 14 yards away?
He'll get it at home in the final game of the season. And again, I think you take 5 touchdowns in the win at this point in the year.
No, but I'm just saying, it's going to be neat next week. Senior day, he's at home. He gets 14 yards. They can stop the game. Patty Alter's making the announcement. What a way to wrap it up.
Absolutely. So just a one whale of a football game, and looking forward to the game against Seton Hill next week.
Player of the game brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. They're changing the car buying experience. Find out more online at fordofhagerstown.com, or you can stop by and see them at 1714 Massey Boulevard. Their phone number 301-329-6109. All right, some scores from elsewhere.
Let's go around Super Region 1 in the PSAC. Again, finals from earlier in the day. Mercyhurst beating Clarion 57-10. Slippery Rock all over Gannon 56-7. Edinburgh was taking on IUP on the road, and it was IUP at home getting the win 35-6. Kutztown all over Millersville at home 37-17. Westchester upending Lock Haven 56-14. Again, the final in our game 42-35. In the second quarter, it is Cal over Seton Hill 14-0. And a late, cold one from East Stroudsburg tonight, where it's the Shippensburg Red Raiders in town. Again, that kickoff is at 6 o'clock. So once again, unless that East Stroudsburg-Shippensburg game is a tight one, it's Shepherd and Bloom, the only tight game in the PSAC today.
All right, let's turn our attention to the MEC. Some scores from around Super Region 1, and obviously the biggest one, Notre Dame, knocked from the ranks of the undefeated.
Absolutely. Glenville State winning in overtime 23-20. West Virginia State shutting out Wheeling 24-0. It was Frostburg getting the 10-point win over Kentucky Wesleyan 35-25, and it was a 3-point win as well. The same score as that Glenville Notre Dame game, but West Liberty getting the 23-20 win against West Virginia Wesleyan. And real quick, let's take a look at the GMAC to finish out Super Region 1. Finley beating Ashland 53-18. Walsh losing to Alderson Broadus 24-17. It was Ohio Dominican all over Lake Erie at College 49-10. And Tiffin beating Hillsdale 35-24. Watch out for Tiffin on Monday. See if they can creep up with a couple of these losses and see if they're now in that top 7. Regardless, at the end of the year, Tiffin is going to be that number 7 team, and whether it's just a matter of whether they're any higher than 7 come the end of the year. But as long as you're in that top 10 in the GMAC winner will be guaranteed a spot. And I'm not sure there's going to be anybody from the NE10 this year. I think unless Assumption this week can get into that top 10, I don't see that happening for Assumption, just not the strength of schedule. So I think you're only going to have 3 conferences represented in Super Region 1 this year.
Well, we'll find out when those region rankings come out on Monday. Join us for Miller Time Monday at 5, and we will have all of the latest. Now, that is going to wrap things up for us. Let's get ready and head back home. A much easier trip going home with a hard-fought victory as the Rams able to get one here at Bloomsburg. Thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of Ram football. Thank you for joining us at TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Thanks to Chip Ransom for all of his help and support as Sports Information Director at Shepherd, and as well David Leisering, who is the SID here at Bloomsburg, for all of their help and support with the broadcast coverage. And thanks to all the staff and folks here at Redmond Stadium for their help and hospitality as well. Our studio engineer has been Caleb Falero. Running cameras today, Eric Sterick and John Alderton. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you today's final score. It is the Shepherd Rams 42, Bloomsburg 35. Until next Saturday, so long, everyone.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. We deliver to your home. FordofHagerstown.com. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. The Mirius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Joe Ferretti Law Office in downtown Martinsburg, delivering first-rate service and results for our clients. Green Tree Realty, a great place to call home. Jackie Lewis Broker, GreenTreeRealty.com. Mike Folk for Governor, accountable, ethical, responsible. Folk4WV.com. And by Smallwood and Small, an Erie affiliate, Total Insurance Solutions. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd University Rams football. All rights reserved.